YouTube, we're on. We are live, and this is Mark from 𝐀𝐁𝐎𝐔𝐓, and it's the Valentine's Day special live. So it is fantastic to be here and to meet you guys, or to have the opportunity to meet you guys and talk to you guys one-on-one for the very first time in this live format. So what I've done is the computer is here and the camera is here, and that's just going to help us increase the sound quality. So every now and then I'll be switching between the two. So guys, add your comments in, and let me know what's going on. Let me know who's watching, what's happening. We'll see if this format works. We'll see if hopefully the audio quality is really good for you guys. So let me know if you can see and hear me. Just pop in, let me know what's happening. We've got a few people coming online now. So let me know, guys. Just see and hear, type it in, say hi. We're doing Q&A. We're doing Q&A, and it is so good to have you guys on here. Thank you for joining me. Happy Valentine's Day. Great date for it. Great date for it, if I do say so myself. It's wonderful to have you on here. Say hi, guys. Don't be shy. And yeah, let me know if you can see and hear me. We've been having audio dramas this morning. So I've been running around for sort of the last hour and a half changing mics. We had literally about 3 or 4 different microphones that we were testing. And we ended up using the USB mic for this. And the reason is it's producing the best quality of sound. The only slight drama is there's a little bit of background noise with it. So we live on a bit of a busy intersection here in beautiful Brisbane. It's not too hot today. It was 37 degrees on the weekend, but today it's probably 37 degrees, by the way, is about 98 Fahrenheit. I think that translates to. So it's a little bit cooler today, which is good because we've shut up the house to decrease those traffic noises. Just going to open the chat, guys. I'm just going to open the chat because I've realized that that's not on there. Okay. Let's open this up. Chat. 2 seconds, guys. How are we all? I hope we're well. Just going to open this up. Now, where is the live chat? Just list all of our group chat. Should be on here. Just opening up the chat, guys. Damn it. Ah, there it is. We're good. We're good. I found it. Okay. So who have we got on? Who have we got on? We've got Maya's here. Great to have you, Maya. We've got Nusi's online. Daniella's online. Great to have you, Daniela. Marnelli's online. We've got Missy Too Pretty from Trinidad. Wow, that's so cool. Hello. God, what's the weather like in Trinidad? I can't even imagine. Lily's online. Great to have you, Lily. Joel's here. Welcome, Joel. We've got Simply Mika. Angie's online. Angie Alcazar. Mary Kay's on here. Nusi's on here. Yvonne's on here. Linea's on here. Kimberly, great to have you on here. Sorry about the delay, guys. First time I'm figuring out this whole live thing, but this is really cool. This is really cool. Welcome, guys. Welcome. It's fantastic to have you. Keep the comments up. You can obviously hear me, which is awesome. It's Q&A time. It is Q&A time, but before we get into that, I've got a few little surprises. In around 1 hour from now, one of my favorite people is going to be coming on the live stream. If you're a watcher of this channel, you can probably guess who she is, but she is going to be on the live stream, and she is going to be coming in here to hang with us. So that's about an hour from now. So spend your Valentine's Day with us. We're way better dates anyway. So come, stick around for the full hour. We're going to have someone special showing up in about an hour or so from now. Now, weather is warm and cozy in Trinidad. Yvonne says, love your videos. You're not bad in the eye either. Thank you, Yvonne. Looking forward to discuss my situation from Nusi. Yeah, so guys, it's Q&A. It's Q&A, and we're going to get into all of your questions. Now, we're going to see, I've got a lot, so we're going to see how we go getting through them. But if you are online and you've posted a question in the comments, if you're online, you've posted a question in the comments, and I've said, hey, I'll answer this one on live stream, make yourself known because I'll get to yours first. So the way I sort of chose the questions was I chose the ones that I felt were really interesting and would help all of you. So there's been a few questions sent in specific to situations that I think are really going to get across to the whole audience and give you guys a whole lot of benefit from it. So that's how I've chosen the questions. And then I've got a couple that are situation specific that are just kind of cool to answer. A couple that are just like, wow, this needs to be out there. So some really good stuff. But if you have got a question that I've said I'll answer on the live stream, make yourself known because I'll get to yours first. Now, a couple of other things as well. I've got a little gift for you guys. So if you know me, you know that I'm very much about self-improvement. I'm very much that the best dating advice that you can have, best dating advice that you can apply is to work on being the best version of yourself that you can possibly be, because it's what I've always believed. It's what I've always lived in my own life. And I'm such a big advocate that you have to practice what you preach. I think there's so many coaches out there who don't practice what they preach, and I can't coach something if I don't practice it myself. That's the honest truth. So when it comes to improving yourself and when it comes to working on yourself, there's one thing that I think has helped me probably more than any other, and that's reading. If you're a reader, you're an improver. If you are reading regularly, you are always going to be growing, and you're always going to be learning new things from some of the biggest and brightest and best experts in the world at their own fields. So reading. So guys, if you're not on Audible, audible.com is a website where basically you can go on there and you can download audiobooks to listen to on the go. So for me, I love to get my reading in. I love my hard copy books. You know, I will take these books apart bit by bit. This is me when I'm reading. Every book I have is unsaleable because there's so much highlighting and taking apart. But sometimes you can't read, right? Sometimes you got to do stuff on the go. That's where Audible comes in. Plug it in on the way to work, waiting at the doctor's surgery, on a flight, whatever it is, you can be learning and growing all the time. So first little gift, if you go to audible.com, audibletrial.com/MHY. If you're not a member yet, you can go there and get a free first book thanks to making yours. So Audible, AUDIBLE, trial, TRIAL.com/MHY. You can go there, grab a free audiobook, start growing yourself. I do it. I recommend it for everyone. So I wouldn't recommend something if I didn't believe that the value massively outweighed the cost. So for the price of a Subway or a meal at Nando's, you can get something that's it's a free trial, so you can sign up and cancel it, but you get the free book anyway. And then if you continue it, it's $15 a month. But it's such a good idea. I highly recommend it. Have one less expensive meal out and grow yourself with an audiobook every single month. Not recognize yourself, I promise you. Let's have another look at the comments. Who have we got online? Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Who else is here? We've got, it's 3 a.m. here for Samsonak. Sorry about that, Samsonak. Lily, yep, I said I'd answer Lily's. New Skins is on, so that's great. Beautiful. Guys, if I've said I'll answer a question, make yourself known because we'll go to those ones first. Kimberly L's online. Oh, beautiful. Great to have you online, guys. Okay, little thing as well. One more thing before we get into the questions. If you go to, I'll pop the link in the description. We've got How to Tell If a Guy Likes You out now. It's the comprehensive guide to reading and understanding men. So if you want to know what he's thinking before he knows himself, this is what I'd recommend for you. But guys, let's get into the questions. Let's get straight into them, hey? And I've double printed them so that you can read them and see them with me. So the first one we've got, Nusi online. So we will go with hers first. So guys, like I say, if you have a question live, pop it in. Pop it in the chat. I'll answer it right there. But it is just great to have all of you. It is so great to have you here on Valentine's Day. So thank you for joining me. First question is from Nusi. And I double printed these so that I can read it to you as I show it to you. Nusi. Got quite a few questions. All right. So there's a little bit to Nusi's question, so you may not be able to read it all, but I'll give you the summary. I shall give you the summary. So this is a bit of a big one. So I'll give you the summary, guys. Can you see me? Yeah. So this guy doesn't see me regularly. So basically the situation with Nusi is she's seeing a guy who is not a planner at all. Very spontaneous guy. So he points out he's a spur of the moment type of guy. He knows I'm a planner. So we have advanced plans that are a month down the road. We talk all the time, daily. It drives me nuts that he doesn't want to give me a day in advance. When I talk to him about it, he would respond with, well, we'll see one another again. Don't worry, silly. And asked what he means by next, and when asked if he meant next month's plans, he'd be like, no, we'll see each other again this month. But Nusi says, I'm frustrated because I'm naturally a planner and he is not. So I like to schedule a week or two in advance with my friends and he's not. We met online 4 months ago. That's pretty much the gist of it. If he feels yes to going somewhere, then to no. We've seen each other 4 times since the initial date. He told me that he knows I'm a planner, that he drives me insane when he's more of a spur of the moment kind of guy. I can tell he's interested, but at the same time, I like to plan ahead. Okay, great question. So you guys would have got the gist of that. Essentially, Nusi's in a situation where she's got a guy who's a massive spur of the moment type of guy, very spontaneous, probably more like me in that way. I like to plan, but I'm a bit more like that, whereas Nusi's more planning in the future. What you have here is 2 very different ways of approaching life. And already this is a big incompatibility. This is 2 things that are very not going together. If it's frustrating you this much after 4 dates, can you imagine being in a relationship with this person? It's a very different way of living your life. Neither is right or wrong. Each has its advantages and disadvantages, but it's 2 very different ways of living your life. And it's going to be, my advice, Nusi, would be it's going to be very hard to be compatible with this guy. What I would say is that what you can try and do is meet in the middle. So you can say to him, look, I know you're not much of a planner. I get that. I'm a planner, you're not much of a planner, but we obviously like each other. So let's see if we can meet in the middle. Are you free? And I go in, if you're like a 2-weeker and he's like the same day, go in the middle and say, are you free Thursday or Friday? And see if you can meet him. So what's today? Today's, no, not Thursday, next Monday or Tuesday. Go that middle ground. And if he'll probably agree to that at first is what will happen. But then what you'll find is that it'll sort of dissipate back to the way it was. And what you want to do in that scenario is kind of keep, because he's going to want to hang out spontaneously. And what's essentially going to happen is you're not going to be available in that short-term time frame, that 1 to 3 day time frame. So he's just going to have to learn that if he wants to date you, he has to meet you in the middle. He has to give it 3 to 5 or to 7 days warning. You're not going to do 1 to 3, and he's not going to do 1 week plus. It's just, you both have things that you don't want to do. So hopefully you like each other enough, you can meet in the middle. Does that make sense, Nusi? Let me know if that makes sense. Any other follow-up questions, guys? Make sure you post them. Let's have a look. Who else we got online? Oh, you guys are awesome. Elaine says, Elaine has a question. What do you do if your ex accuses you of cheating and sleeping with someone now if it's not even true? Do you acknowledge and defend yourself, or just ignore him and not give him a reaction? Okay, beautiful. What do you do if your ex? Yeah, I'll get to that one, Elaine. I'll get to that one. Just do a couple of the other ladies first. Baby Diva says, me, Latinda, he didn't call me on Valentine's Day. Why is that? What do I do now? So we'll get to these as well, guys. We'll keep going with a few of these. How do you get someone out of my mind? Great questions coming through. I'm always learning, especially about myself. What are your feelings about friends with benefits? Yvonne says. So we've got some great questions coming through, guys. So that's awesome. I'll answer some of these as we go. Nusi says, yes, I've tried that. That's how the first few dates was done. That's all you can do is meet in the middle. If he's being stubborn and saying, I'm going to only plan 1 to 3 days in advance, then next time he wants to hang out with you, you probably won't be available. You might be. He might be like, hey, hangs tomorrow. And you might go, okay, I've actually got tomorrow off. We can do this. But most of the time, keep doing what you're doing, Nusi. Plan a little bit shorter, but keep living your life. And eventually he's going to learn if he doesn't book ahead, he doesn't get a date. So you've got to essentially, it sounds bad to say train him, but you've got to essentially go, this is how I expect to be treated, or this is my standards to how I want to live my relationship. You're in or you're out. Are you going to meet me in the middle or are you not? up to you. If he doesn't want to, that's fine. Go elsewhere. Guys, I'm just going to turn the background noise off. 2 seconds. So much better. Okay, we had Lily's question. So I'm going to jump to Lily's question very quickly. So this is a good one. I really like this question, actually. It got me thinking. Lily's question. Where is it? Seems as though I haven't printed it. But essentially, Lily asked a really good question. And Lily's question was, I've been seeing a guy casually, and we've started sleeping together. I don't want anything exclusive yet, but obviously sexually active. How do I have the conversation about STDs with a guy that I don't want to go exclusive with yet? Because I want to stop using condoms when I go down on him. So how do I have that conversation where, is it safe to do this, like have you been tested, etc., without going into the what are we going to be a boyfriend, girlfriend type situation? So essentially, casual sex, how to have the STD conversation. And this was a great question. I thought it's a massive thing. You want to protect yourself. That has to come first. But you do also want to enjoy yourself. And yeah, I can certainly see where the question comes from. Here's the thing. Men can always lie. Sad to say, women can lie too, but sad to say, men can always lie. And even if you ask the guy you're sleeping with casually, he can lie, or he can say he is clean and then sleep with someone else the next night and come back to you 2 nights later. There's no safe way to do it when you're casual. It's always on you. You can't rely on him. You have to always be responsible. You have to always accept responsibility for your risks. Now, there's a lot less chance, obviously, with oral sex, but it can still happen, and there's still STDs that can spread that way. There's no way to guarantee that can't happen. So I think there's no point bringing it up with someone you're seeing casual, because it doesn't really work, and they can lie, and then they can go, or they can tell the truth, go sleep with someone else and catch something the next day, and you're not going to keep asking them every time. You've got to take responsibility for you and your own risks. I would leave, if you're worried about STDs and you're worried about what you could get, just leave the condom on all the time. That's all you can do. If you like him more, get into a relationship and go from there. Because once you're in that situation, or once you're in the exclusive situation, he's not sleeping with anyone else, and things become a lot simpler. But as long as you're casual, you have to take all responsibility for your protection. You can't rely on the guy to always tell the truth or to not sleep with other people in the meantime. So there's really no way it can be done with no risk. So it's up to you. You just have to either accept the risk and go, look, there's a very small chance, because you can't see everything with visual inspection. You can see a lot of things, but not everything. There's always things like herpes and stuff can spread via oral sex. So there's never an ironclad guarantee. It's much lower risk. And look, there's plenty of people that do it and are fine. It's just, you have to be okay with the risk you're taking and understand that is a risk. Hopefully that makes sense, Lily. Let me know if there's any questions relating to that. Let's check over on the comments again. So we're talking before. Nusi says, yeah, that's how I figured I'd have to do this. Sweet. Okay, who else have we got online? Kim, sorry, I can't pronounce it, I'm terrible, says, is it possible for a guy to forget that it was a V-Day yesterday? No, it is not. And he's probably very, very aware of it, and he's probably avoiding it just avoiding dealing with it. So I'd say no would be the short answer. It's not something guys would forget. It's just something they might try to ignore if you're on a casual basis, Kim. Who else we got online? Lexi. Lexi says, how do I confront a guy rather than get an explanation and apology and possibly try to save a friendship who I'm attracted to, but pulled a jerk move, but I don't forgive? Lexi, I'd probably need a bit more details on what the situation is. any situation you go into respectfully without arcing up, someone's going to appreciate that communication. Being vulnerable, explaining how it made you feel, connecting with him back on a very real basis, that's going to be, without knowing the specifics of the situation, that's probably the best advice I can give you there. Rather than get an explanation apology, yeah, maybe just reword that so I can understand a little bit better. Okay, so let's go on to a couple of other questions and then we'll get to some of the live ones, guys, because there's some really good ones on here. Okay. So this was a really interesting question, guys. This was one that I sort of wanted to share with you. It was from Angelique, and I'll see if you can see it here. I'll read it out as we go. Hopefully you can see that. It might actually be in reverse, so it might be completely unhelpful to you. Okay, I think it's in reverse. So I'll read it out. Angelique says, I really love your videos, Mark, thank you. But the one thing I notice is everyone preaches about building a quality life. Now that's a big part of what I talk about. If you've seen the How to Make Him Chase You video, which is going bananas, that's the first point that we talk about, is build a life that men want to be a part of and you'll have incredible dating success. But this is interesting because Angelique goes, everyone talks about building a quality life, something exciting. I am an advocate, fashion blogger. I'm an attorney. I'm a fashion blogger, so I go out to fancy events, launches, lunches, festivals. I'm always out and about. Then I have my own radio show. I'm studying an MBA. My life is on steroids. But guys just pull away. I'm not clingy. I'm not needy. I don't ask for anything. I am fiercely independent. What am I doing wrong? Do you guys have any ideas, any sort of thoughts on this? I'd be curious to know if you guys can answer this. Yes, don't worry, Elaine. I'm going to get back to your question. Lily says, I don't like condoms. I don't think any of us like condoms, Lily. It's just one of those things you got to do, isn't it? Hannah says, I like your advice not to play games. I think that's one of the biggest things for me, differing from other coaches, is you don't need games. You never need games or dishonesty to get the right person. And you can have them chase you. You can build great relationships. You can do all this without games. Guys, back to Angelique's question. Michaela, too much masculine energy. Really good. I think that masculine energy and feminine energy isn't something everyone believes in, but it's certainly something I believe in. I think there has to be polarity energies for attraction to occur. But here's probably how I'd frame it in a more practical sense. One thing that the feminism movement has done is it's given such freedom and independence to women, and that's been, you can't overstate how valuable that's been. But there's also the point where it goes too far. Because if I'm a man and I say, well, I'm totally independent, I don't need a woman for anything, I've got the best life in the world, there's nothing a woman can add, there's no grounding for any woman that comes into my life. And the fact, Angelique used the word fiercely, I'm fiercely independent. I have 1,000,001 things going on and they're all awesome, and they are. When this goes too far, when the whole, I don't need no man, when that goes too far to the end of the spectrum, men can't give any value to your life. Because here's the thing, you can grow an incredible life. You can grow a life you're happy with. You can grow a single life that's amazing. But there will always be something men can add to your life. And I know that no matter how much I grow my life, no matter how proud of myself I am, no matter what I'm doing, there are certain things that I'll only ever be able to, certain feelings and things that I'll only ever be able to have if there's a female in my life. That's literally, I need them for that. And it's that valuing that feminine energy, which is the way I refer to it. But there's just that essence that women will always be able to add to my life in intimate relationships that I can never have on my own. And I need them for that. It's not that I need that, but if I want to have that, I need them for that element. Like, to give you guys a very practical example, the feeling of being the big spoon. Real simple, right? It's a very masculine, happy feeling being the big spoon for a girl. It's the same for women with feminine cores. It's the same for a woman with feminine energy when it comes to being a little spoon. It's like there's always that part that can be added. And we talk so much about not being needy, but there's this point where it goes too far, where you go, I literally have no need for a man. There is no value a man can add to my life. And that is going to make every man that comes into your life completely insecure, because there's nothing he can add. He has no footing, because if he can't do anything, if he can't make you feel good, if he can't emote you, if there's nothing he can add, what possible reason do you have to keep him? Literally none. So no guy is going to risk that. It's way too scary. And this is where the fiercely independent thing goes too far. Being independent is great. Being happy without a man is absolutely fundamental. But going the next step to go, there is literally nothing I need a man for, or no value men can add to my life, that's when you go too far and you'll stop attracting any men to your life, because it's too full. There's nothing they can add. They're going to feel totally insecure in your life. Men need to feel needed on one level, that they can add value, because that's the reason you keep them around. If a guy isn't connecting with his masculine core when he's around you, and you're not giving him the ability to do that, then he's not going to feel good around you, and there's no point in him sticking around. So I hope that answers that question. Let's check the comments. What's going on in the comments? Got lots of comments. Lexi. Dave, Mark just answered my question. That's pretty much the same thing you were asking. Lily says, I want to be with him right now. How can you tell a guy is being genuine? Dave says, but we plan ahead. Let's go to Elaine's question up the top. So I'm just going to scroll up and find that one, guys. Elaine's question. Elaine. Okay, this is Elaine's question. Elaine says, what do you do if your ex accuses you of cheating and sleeping with someone else? Now, even if it's not true, do you acknowledge and defend yourself, or just ignore him and not give him a reaction? Well, look, it's your ex for one thing. So I don't know the situation with contact. Are you guys talking? How recent is this? And should there be a no contact period here, Elaine? Because if not, if there hasn't been one, there probably should be. All you can do is tell him the truth. His feelings and the way he perceives it is not your responsibility. I don't think shutting down and ignoring him just blatantly because of this is the answer. I do think going, look, I never cheated. I can't say anything more to you than that. If you don't believe that, that's okay. I never cheated. You can literally be honest, and then think about, is it time to go no contact? Because why are we having these arguments with an ex? He's your ex now. This isn't the sort of interactions we want to be having. So be genuine with him, but then if he doesn't accept it, that's not your problem. Make sense? Hope it makes sense, Elaine. Who else we got online? Say hi, guys. Don't be shy. Come online. Don't forget, we've got a special guest coming on a little bit later on. This is great. I love this. We're going to do this more often. This is great. Your friend Forever One says, what do you do when an online friend is giving you the silent treatment? And what if you're afraid they'll never talk to you again? So if you mean an online friend, you mean an online date, I'm assuming your friend forever. If you mean why is an online date annoying you, I'm going to take a leap and assume this is a guy you haven't met up with and you haven't done anything with. If he's ignoring you, he's ignoring you. Now, obviously you want to put yourself out there and say, hey, I want to talk to you, like let's meet up, and put yourself on the line, because we all get in this situation, especially online, where it's like, I'm not going to talk to him because I'm going to wait for him to talk to me. And he's like, I'm not going to talk to her because I'm going to wait for her to initiate. When you're vulnerable, and I talk about this in the mixed signals video, when you are vulnerable with someone and you say, hey, I want to meet up with you. I want to spend one-on-one time with you. If they ignore that, the situation is easy. So if you've sent this person, your friend forever, some sort of message like that, then this situation becomes easy. You can just go, okay, sweet. They're doing something else right now. They're busy with life. They're seeing someone else. They're doing whatever the hell. All good. I've got lots going on in my life and I'm amazing, so that's their loss. Hope that answers your question. Just friend forever. Keep them coming, guys. Christina says, guy I met online just keeps coming back like an orbiter, but he is nice. I think I'm tired of the game. What do I say to him? So Christine, you mean he's coming back and forth? Is he in your physical life, or is he online only? So if he's guy I met just keeps coming back, like he is an orbiter, he is nice, but I'm tired of him coming back. Where is it? Yeah, we probably need a bit more information here, Christine. Like, is he trying to date you? Is he putting in effort, and then like, is he doing the classic, I'm going to put in effort and woo you for a week and then disappearing for a week and then being that inconsistency? Because that inconsistency sucks. I mean, there's different reasons for it. There can be guys who are scared of commitment. There can be guys who just want the attention, want the validation. There can be guys who are just lonely. Lots of different things, but I'd be very weary. I'd be very weary if he's exhibiting that pattern. Maybe shy. Yeah, I probably need to know more about the situation, but be wary. Okay. Oh, Judith's online. Judith's online. So Judith asked a question. We'll pull up Judith's question. I have no idea how to say that. So Judith basically asked this question. She said, I broke up with my ex a few months ago. Hadn't talked to him since we broke up more than 2 months back. He texted me, out of the blue, he texted me during Super Bowl night, and I replied, we talked about the game. We didn't really text a lot, and we stopped replying, literally just talked about the game. I sort of make a comment, and then she says, I don't know what happened. The conversation was just weird. We talked about football. That was it. So it's basically a out of the blue conversation where an ex has texted a few months after the breakup, and they've literally talked about football, and then the conversation's fizzled, and Judith is going, what the hell is that? Judith, guys can do this for a couple of reasons. Super Bowl night, I'm guessing he was probably drinking if it was Super Bowl night. I don't know if he was a drinker, but guys will do this when they're lonely. Guys will do this when they're thinking of you. Guys may do this sober if they want to connect again. But to me, my first impression is probably that he was sitting there having a few drinks. I don't know if he was around other couples or something and lonely. That's my immediate indication. He's missing the connection. We talk a lot about boyfriend benefits. We talk a lot about the things men love about relationships. And women always go, it's sex. The thing I got to hold back is sex. That's the most important thing. There are several other things that I talk about in a video coming up, but also in the chase video that men value probably a lot more than sex, really, if we're being honest. Support and love, companionship, security and loyalty, excitement, all these benefits of relationships. And the one that he's really lacking there, Judith, is companionship. So he's gone, I'm missing the companionship. I'm going to text her. Now, is it more than that? It's hard to know. If he was drinking that night and it was a late night text, I would probably say not. And the reason is, you know, I've had the situation before. It's like if you want to get back, you can text me during the day when you're sober. But Judith, you also added that, look, I was actually thinking of reconnecting with him, which is cool. When he texted, I was actually thinking of texting him. So there's obviously still a little bit of feelings there. And if you feel like the breakup was maybe not warranted or not quite for the right reasons, then you can follow this up and you can see what you get. Remember, putting yourself on the line is never bad. It's putting yourself on the line over and over again for someone who's not putting themselves on the line for you. That's when it crosses into needy or desperate. So I remember a while ago, I got a wonderful text from an ex, and it was very high, self-respecting, high value. She just said, hey, how are you? Seems like things have been going well. Would love to catch up again and hear how you've been going, with a smiley face. And I just thought, that's a lovely text. That is a lovely text. She's made her intentions abundantly clear. She's put herself on the line to possibly be rejected. I had so much respect for it. We didn't end up catching up because I said, thank you so much, but not right now. And that was fine. But she got her answer. And that's where I'd be going here, Judith. If you are seriously thinking that there could still be something going on with this guy, or you've still got feelings for this guy, be open, send a vulnerable text. Don't do what he did and send a possibly drinking text on a Saturday night. Send it on a Tuesday morning. and say, hey, maybe not on Valentine's Day because it's a little weird, especially since it's nighttime already there. But send him a text. Send him a text or a message. Say, hey, how are you? Hope things have been really well. Seems like they have been. Would love to catch up, connect, and see how things have been going. If he says no to that, this situation becomes really easy. Hope that makes sense, Judith. Who else is online, guys? We got a few of you online. Thanks for coming on, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Okay, and don't forget, we've got a guest in a little while. I think I've printed out too many questions. So note to self, we're going to have to do this more often. We're going to have to hang out on V-Day more often. Baby Diva says, my ex always gets his mum involved in our issues. What do you think? Yeah, this is... Shit, I could do a whole hour on this one. His mum is his responsibility. And I don't know what the mum's involvement is, but you're saying he gets the mum involved. So she's probably intervening, I'm guessing, with you, in which case that's not her role. So you need to say to him, hey, your mum is intervening with me, saying stuff to me. That's not, this is me and you. Like this, I want to talk about this with you. Please, like, chat to this with your mum. Please control your mum. This is not between me and her. This is between me and you. So he's allowed to go talk to his mum. You can't stop him doing that. But if what you want to do is address the problems directly with him. And if his mum is intervening where you don't want to you, then you say to him, hey, what the hell is this? Sort your mum out, essentially. Okay. Who else is online? Baby's online. Lexi's online. Elaine. Elaine, okay, this is important. Elaine says, tried no contact, but he keeps texting. Elaine, stop texting him back. You can say, here's what you can do. You can say, hey, look, I really need to take some time to heal for myself. Thank you for everything. You won't be hearing from me for a little while. I wish nothing but the best for you. That's it. Nothing more. You don't text him again after that. He can send you 45 texts, but you don't reply. You made your position clear in a really self-respecting, high-value way. You said, all the best. You're not going to hear from me for a little while. Be well. Done. Stop texting him back after that. KitKat says, a guy friend has liked me for years, but I've been oblivious until recently. A guy friend has liked me for years, but I've been oblivious until recently. I shut down after realizing I felt the same. I'm scared and dealing with things. I still believe he likes me. But do I wait for him to say something, or do I explain myself? KitKat, you only live once. Go for it. We're all so scared in dating. We're all so risk averse. We've got to start to love risk. We've got to start to be friends with risk and fear. And the more you risk yourself, if you say, hey, let's go hang out one-on-one. I want to make this happen again. Sorry if I've been, and then when you're on the date, you say, look, apologies if I've been a little distant lately. I think I am still getting used to all this and just got a bit nervous when I heard you felt that way. But I'm really enjoying this and us connecting. If you say that to him, you're putting yourself on the line. He's going to appreciate it and you guys are going to connect. So don't let this guy go away. If you feel for him, make the next move. He's obviously shy. If you've watched the Shy Guys video, it's often the woman who has to do a lot more work with it. So if you really feel that way, go for it. Fear is not a good reason to do or to not to do things, especially things in dating. So my advice would be KitKat and go for it. Let's do another question from the viewers, as I promised. We've got, this is a good one. Aurelia asks, what are the indicators that he is ready to commit to you? How would a woman know at what point in the process to give him the boyfriend benefits? Because he can fake it to get it, yeah? Because he can fake it to get it. Well, he can't fake being exclusive to you. He can lie, but that's a different kettle of fish and you'll catch him out. But he can't fake being in a relationship. If he's your exclusive boyfriend, that's pretty hard to fake you can't fake that without lying. So Aurelia, what are the indications he's ready to commit? Now, the whole how to tell if a guy likes you guide is available from the website. So that's literally me talking about this for hours and hours. But here's an extremely quick summary. Look for these three things, because these three things are really hard to fake, and they indicate strong, consistent interest in a guy who's looking to move the relationship forward. The first one is emotional momentum. If a guy is consistently keeping up emotional momentum, he really likes you. So think about, he doesn't like to go 24 hours without texting you. He doesn't like to let there be gaps in time where you guys aren't connecting. Now, this can be via phone, this can be via text, this can be lots of different ways, but this is the first thing to look for. When a guy's consistent with emotional momentum, it's because he doesn't want you wandering away emotionally. He doesn't want other guys, he perceives you're a high value woman, there's threats from other guys, he doesn't want you to wander away on an emotional basis. So he keeps emotional touch with you. The second thing is prioritization. So if he's keeping up emotional momentum, the next thing he's going to do is start prioritizing you. So in small ways, you will see him making time, essentially is what this is. You'll see him wanting to do extra calls. You'll see him shifting his schedule around so he can talk to you or spend time with you. He starts to prioritize you into his life. And the third thing is integration. So it means he's integrating you now into his life. He's introducing you to the parents. He's showing you his hobbies. He's bringing you into his world. He's seeing you hang out with his friends and his roommates. If you see emotional momentum followed by prioritization, followed by integration, you basically have a guy who is very on the verge of committing. Go and have the exclusive conversation. Watch a video about 3 weeks ago, how to get a guy to commit. Watch that video, do exactly what Jamia does. She's perfect in that video. High value way to do it that makes the guy choose to want to commit. Go and do that. And that guy's going to be absolutely sold on commitment. In terms of the boyfriend's benefit part, how do you not give them to him? It's a gradual thing. And think of this, I talked about this in a video, in the last Ask Mark video, but think of it more like a gym pass that you get, where you get like 7-day trial, where you can go in for a day and you get full unlimited access, but you can't go in whenever you like. Only the full members to a gym can use the full access whenever they want. But it's not like the gym is only giving you access to the cardio room and it's saying, you can just use the cardio room for free all the time, but if you ever want to use the weights room, you have to upgrade to a full membership. Gyms don't do that because they know they'll get used for it. So it's the same with the way you want to be approaching the boyfriend benefits in a relationship. You give the full experience, but you don't give unlimited access to it. You go off and you have other healthy priorities. When you're with someone, you prioritize them. You give them companionship. You give them support. Maybe even love. You give them security because you're literally around them at the time, so they can't be hooking up with anyone else. You bring them into your exciting life. You're giving them all those benefits, but then you go away and prioritize other things. So that's the balance. You're not his companion who's available all the time. That's what a girlfriend is. You're not his constant supporter who's available all the time. That's what a girlfriend is. You might sleep with him, but you're not available for sex all the time whenever he feels like it. That's what a girlfriend is. To an extent, you guys know what I mean. All these things, it's the same but more, if that makes sense. Hopefully I explained that well. It's always interesting explaining that on live, but hopefully you get that it's not about holding, it's not about like I'm going to hold stuff back and I'm going to play hard to get. It's just I have other healthy priorities in my life, and this guy has not invested to the point where he gets all of the good stuff. He gets a window like the gym member who goes in and gets to experience the whole place. He gets a window to go, this is fucking awesome, but he doesn't get the full experience. Hopefully that answers that question for you. That was Aurelia's question. Let me know, guys, if you're online and you have if you have a previous question as well, let me know, because there's a few of you, there's like a dozen questions here. So if I don't get to them, I'll make sure I type out answers, but there's some really good ones. Let's go back to the questions here. Dave says, Mark, I understand the three things. So talking about emotional momentum, prioritization, integration. I understand the three things, but what to believe if a guy only calls you when he is driving from work, so only once a day, what to think of this? Well, Dave, he's putting in some effort, but you've got to judge him on the rest of his actions. It sounds like he's not putting in a lot. So is he making one-on-one time? If he's not making one-on-one time and he's not wanting to hang out, then he's not putting in much prioritization. He's putting in emotional momentum and a little bit of prioritization, but no rest of prioritization and integration. So he's not there at that stage. Who's this? Annalise says, my crush knows I like him and he always stares at me. He's kind of shy and stares at me intensely as he forgets everything around. Well, that's a great effect to have on a man. Annalise, that's good to hear that you can do that. Talk to him. Do you guys talk? If not, you should. Talk to him. Say hi. Hey, we keep making eye contact, but we don't introduce. I'm Annalise. Or I don't know if you do know him. And you say, hey, we keep looking at each other over here. What's up? Do you want to grab some food? You can do that. And it's okay if he knows that you like him because he likes you too. Especially if he's shy, that's a good thing. You know you like each other, so you can go over there without worrying about the risk and just be normal people. Get on a date. Do it. Okay, who else we got? So I'm doing the best I can to keep up the comments, guys. So I apologize if I get behind or if I miss yours. I'm legit doing the best that I possibly can. There's so many of you on here, so it's really, really cool to have all of you. Thank you for spending your Valentine's evening with me. I very much appreciate it. Heart to heart. Okay, who else have we got? Who else have we got now? Thanks so much. Judith says, thanks so much. Staying up till 3:37 really paid off. Jeez. Still one question. With his mother calling me asking to come by, I'm kind of confused. Should I just go for it and reconnect? Oh, so the situation before, Judith's mother, sorry, not Judith's mother. Judith had the ex who caught her during the Super Bowl. And we talked about that. Also, the ex's mother called Judith to say, hey, come round. No. You say to the mother, that's very sweet of you, but if he'd like me to come round, he can invite me himself. But thank you for the kind offer. So that's a no. That's a thank you, cute mother. He can say so himself if that's what he wants. This is his responsibility, not yours. Okay. Nusi says, Mark, do those three things all have to happen together or are those in steps? No, they're in steps. A guy's not going to integrate you immediately, Nusi. So he's going to start out, normal dating, he's going to start out with emotional momentum and then he's going to go, this girl's great. I'm going to start making more priority. Then I'm going to integrate her. They could happen together, but it'd be a little weird. It would essentially be him going, hey, I really like you. Come around to meet my family. And let me talk about my job and my future plans. That's going to be too much. That's going to send you running. So if they all happen together like instantly, that gets to the point of weird. Integration is a much bigger investment from someone than is emotional momentum. It doesn't take that much to keep up emotional momentum. Half an hour a day, hell, one text message a day. But to integrate someone takes a lot of effort. So it should be a gradual process. If it's all jammed together, that's actually going to, if a girl gave me all three of those instantly, I'd be like, no way in hell. This is weird because I haven't earned the integration. Like, why am I being integrated when she doesn't know me from a guy she met on the street this morning? Nicole has a question. My crush and I have been talking for a year now, and I think he likes me too. He's asked me to hang out with him at his gym twice, but because I was so dumb and nervous, I changed the subject both times. Smooth, Nicole. Unintentionally because I'm shy when it comes to guys I like. Do you think I'm not interested and what should I do? Do I ask him out? What should I say? We've never hung together. Yeah, Nicole, you're going to have to ask him out after that. I'm assuming you have his number, so I'd literally be saying, hey, how have you been? It'd be great to hear from you, chat to you. Let me know if you'd be keen to catch up over a coffee, drink, whatever it is this week. Send him, don't forget the text guide as well, bit.ly/HY, Have a look at the text guide, and there's a couple of cool texts where you just talk about your life and then bring him into it. So yeah, it's on you now, Nicole, if you've done that twice. But it's awesome you're aware of that. It's awesome you're aware of your shyness and going, okay, I need to deal with this. That's really, really cool. Not long now till our special guest comes in, guys. Not long at all. So she's going to help me answer some questions too. Okay, who else have we got? Who else have we got? Natasha's online. Natasha's online. Thank you, Judith from Austria, sending love. Natasha's online and says, hey, Mark, he has asked me out on a date about 2 times. I was really busy and I said I couldn't now. And now that I'm free and he's busy, he goes hot and cold. How should I handle this? I was really busy and he said, and now that I'm free, he's busy and goes hot and cold. Yeah, well, it would be the same if he was just a guy you just met and he was going hot and cold. It's inconsistent and it's not him putting in the effort. So you'd handle it the same way you handle any hot and cold guy, which is okay. Well, his actions are telling me his interest levels, so I'm going to put in the equivalent investment into him that he's putting into me, which is very little. Like, as long as you've put yourself out there, you've asked him out, you've made yourself vulnerable, you've said I'm the fuck yes to you, and he said, meh, I'm on the fence to you. You go, sweet, that's great. I'm going to get on with my amazing life. Okay, let's have a look at a question from the online viewers, guys. This was a good one. It was from, okay, actually we had 2 here. First one was from Dasha. And Dasha said, I have a question about online dating. I hope you can advise here. I have a good, sincere profile on a free online dating site where I talk about some of my weaknesses and what I look for in a man. But I have a profile picture where I'm standing back so guys can see my silhouette, but not my face. The reasons for me choosing this picture are I would feel embarrassed if people saw my profile on this site, and I would feel vulnerable to show my feelings and my face to everyone out there. The question is, am I missing the opportunity to meet good men? I've had my profile clicked on a lot, but only by guys looking for sex. Dasha, honestly, I'm not surprised. And when you're online, guys, you can't do online half-assed. You're either all in or you're all out. You can't do this thing where you're like, I'm not going to be vulnerable. I'm going to share very little. I'm going to put one photo where I'm wearing sunglasses. You're wasting your time. All in or all out. Dasha, get over the stigma. This is 2017, where no one cares about online dating anymore. No one is going to judge you for it. We're all on it. Everyone's been on it. It's not even remotely desperate. So you can just put that out of your mind. Now, in terms of your photos, guys, profile photo, always a nice headshot. Smiling, flirty face, according to 𝐀𝐁𝐎f works well, but a good, nice, clear headshot is what men want to see. Other photos, couple of action shots, couple of full body shots, and another 1 to 2 headshots. Profile, I could go on to profile for years, and a lot of my clients, I write a lot of profiles for my clients in terms of I help them structure it. Obviously, they give me what they're all about. They give me every detail of them, and I structure a unique profile relative to them. But I'm yet to see, this sounds fucking arrogant as shit, but I'm yet to see many or really any good profiles that I haven't written, because people are so generic with them. They're so generic. Dasha, I could be wrong, but I dare say you've got one of these generic profiles where you say, hi, I'm Dasha. I love to hang out with my friends. I love traveling, having a good laugh. I want to go see Europe and Australia. I love animals, and I love all types of food, but especially Thai food, Indian food. Love to go to the movies. My favorite date is hanging out by the water. It's all so generic. And the biggest quick tip I can give you, Dasha, and to you guys watching about online dating profiles, is that if you've got a statement in there that can apply to more than like 5% of women, either delete it or make it more specific. So I like to travel. No. I want to go to Africa to feed lions in Zimbabwe, and then my next dream is to go to Europe, is to go to Boom, Belgium, and attend Tomorrowland. That's specific. That tells the guy something about you. It doesn't tell you something that every woman. I like to hang out with my friends. No shit. So does everyone else. I like to spend time with my friends at Cloudland having strawberry daiquiris, or you'll find me Sunday bowling with my team from Strike. That's specific. That's you. The other stuff is everyone. If you want a guy to know you for you, you've got to put it about you. And I mean really about you. people get nervous putting details online, but you're not putting in crazy specifics of exactly your times you're there or anything like that. Don't worry about that. Guys want to get to know you, and guys who are serious are looking for women who show they are serious online. And you show you're serious when you write a decent profile, you have good photos, you've clearly put in effort. If you do a half-assed profile, all you'll attract is half-assed men. Okay, I hope that answers that question, Dasha. Let's have a look back at the live stream. What do you guys? Hannah says, love the Q&As. Lexi says, thank you. I'm going to try and expand this chat window. Can I make it bigger? Perhaps not. Okay. Who else we got online? Hannah. Baby Diva says, after 2 weeks of no contact and breakup, my ex wants to meet. When I ask about it, he says, never mind. When I ask about it, he says, okay. So Baby Diva broke up 2 weeks ago. Ex wants to come back. How do I deal with this? Ex message after 2 weeks. How do I deal with this? Baby, you can't. Why did you break up? That's the biggest thing I'd say. What were your reasons, and were they solid? Because you've got to take out the emotions here and go, okay, did we make a rash decision? Were we really incompatible, or did we do something too quickly? That's where you've got to be self-honest. And I don't think 14 days is enough time to really establish that. He's clearly missing you, which is no surprise because he's missed that companionship, missed support and love, misses the excitement. So he's clearly missing you. But you've got to go, were the reasons solid? And it can be hard to know that after 2 weeks. I think a month is going to be healthier, and leaving it another 2 weeks will give you a bit of a better perspective. But if you genuinely think you made a mistake and that you guys are compatible, you made a rash decision, then sure, like, catch up after 2 weeks, send him a text, hey, let's catch up and chat, and go and do that. But I would say, generally, if you're broken up, it's for a reason, and do the 30 days no contact, and then you'll have a little bit of a clearer idea. And if you're still thinking, don't know if we did the right thing, that's when I'd go, okay, I'm going to get back. But if you can look back at your breakup and go, those were rock solid reasons. Like for me, guys, my last breakup was very difficult. And I had to look back and go, were these reasons really solid? Because this girl was amazing, but were these real incompatibilities? Were they really solid? And I made the decision they were after a lot of thinking. And we talked about it a lot when we were together. So when the reasons are solid, you don't want to go back based purely on emotion. But if the reasons are iffy, that's when you go, okay, we need to chat again. So you don't want to have those doubts. Okay, keep sending in the questions, guys. Keep sending the questions through on the live stream. If I missed your question, just comment now and say scroll up or copy and paste the question again, and I'll get to it. I'm keeping up with all the questions as we go along. Okay, next question. Next question is from Yanni or Gianni. She says, hey, Mark, I've tried to show the boy I talk with my standards, and it works very well. We have a long-distance relationship. I want to make him visit me, but I don't know how to text him without pushing him away. In 2 weeks, I have 4 days holidays, and I was thinking to tell him that I will travel halfway towards his town and ask if he want to join me. But I don't want to look desperate to see him, and I don't want he ghosts me after this. I think that meant is supposed to be, I don't want him to ghost me after this. How should I text him? Thanks. Johnny, this is real simple. We're not playing hard to get here. We're not giving people mixed messages. We like him. Hey, I've got a few days off on the weekend of March 10, whatever it is. I've got a few days off weekend of March 10. Was thinking if you'd like, we could meet in halfway between location and spend a couple of days there. Thoughts? Add an X. That's literally it. You just be honest. Hey, upbeat. Hey, I've got a couple of days off coming up on the weekend of this. Would love to catch up. What are your thoughts on meeting in the middle, i.e., pick a location halfway in between? That's it. You're vulnerable. He says no. He says no. Great. You can move on and realize that he's not at this stage willing to prioritize you the way you're willing to prioritize him. So you go, okay, that's fine. I'm going to prioritize other things. Healthy, easy, done. Okay, so we've answered that one. We've answered that one. Okay, a few other questions, guys. If you have them, let's have a look what you guys have posted. Martha says, should you leave the relationship if the sex isn't good? So there's obviously a lot to that question, Martha, but thank you for the really good question. Martha, how long have you been in your relationship, and how long have you felt the sex isn't good for? Obviously, guys, like, you can do the one-on-one calls with me, and I'd love to chat about this one-on-one. This is a classic question. Like, should you leave the relationship if the sex isn't good? That's a question that you could very easily do a discovery call on and get a ton of value from. So it's just be me and you, one-on-one, get all that sort of advice and get all of my thoughts in a one-on-one format. This is the type of question that would work really well for that. Well, I'll do my best to answer it in a couple of questions on here as best I can, Martha. I'll just see if you've answered my question. Not yet. So, Martha, the thing is, you don't want to be sticking around if you're unhappy and just tolerating it, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to leave either. And this comes back to how does he approach self-improvement in the relationship? You know, is he willing to do things like, does he sit down and chat to you to solve problems? Is he happy to talk to a psych? Can you have these types of conversations with him without getting defensive? Now, there's a video, check out this video after the live stream, how to tell a guy what you want in bed. How to tell a guy what you want in bed. So, you know, you're obviously quite far into the relationship, Martha, so you might have tried some of these things already. But some of the biggest things is you have to go, okay, I want your help because I've been struggling, and you make it about you. So you don't make it about something that he's doing wrong. You make it about you. Go, I would love it if I want your help with this, because men love to offer help. If you go, you're doing sex wrong, he'll just go, fuck this, I'm out. Not dealing with this much ego invalidation. I never want to have sex again. Whereas if you go, I need your help, he'll be like, yes. How do I help? What do you need? He will literally, men want to help their woman any way they can, especially in a good relationship. So he's going to want to help. So I need your help. I think I'll enjoy myself even more with you if you can do it during sex as well. During sex as well. I love it when men are like a dog to a bone with that sentence. During sex, I love it when the only thing wrong with it is that's almost all he'll do after you say that sentence. So you got to give him a few. I love it when you lick me like that. I love it when you do this to me. I love it when you fuck me like whatever. Men love to hear that. So if you tell him that, he is going to want to do those things. Now, has there been a reply? No, there hasn't at the moment. Yeah, so guys, that's, like I say, if those don't work, that's when you get into, okay, we need to have a conversation, a proper conversation. And if that doesn't work, you get into, we need to have a proper conversation with a third party, because you can't stay and tolerate forever. It's just going to breed resentment. You've got to take action. That doesn't necessarily, leaving the relationship is the very last resort though. There's lots of actions you can do between them. But check out the video on how to tell a guy what you want in bed, Martha. Okay, let's check the time and just make sure my guest isn't here yet. She does not appear to be. Wonderful. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Questions, guys. Questions, guys. Lexi has one. Lexi has one. Scroll up above the ones I responded to the others with. Those are notated with an @ symbol. Lexi. Where is Lexi's question? Lexi says, I think I answered that one. The how do I confront a guy rather than get an explanation? I think I answered that one. Maybe there's another one. That might be a follow-on. Lexi says, I think we went on a date before he went in the military. Had a great time and he asked me out again. Didn't hear back after the boot camp and found out he had a girlfriend. Contacted me after they broke up. Okay, so he has been, I went on a date, contacted me after they broke up. Didn't hear back until after the boot camp. Found out he had a girlfriend. Guest is here. Guest is here. Lexi, I'll be 2 seconds. I will get right back to you once we let our guest in. 2 seconds. Yes, guys, get excited. We're back, and our guest is here. So she's just grabbing a drink, and she's going to be right with us. So, Lexi, you said that, how do I confront this guy? Let's do the full question. I'll just refresh the question. How do I confront this guy? Where are we? How do I confront a guy I'd rather get an explanation from, an apology, possibly try to save a friendship, I'm attracted to, who pulled a jerk move? And the jerk move was basically, we went on a date before he went in the military, had a great time, and he asked me out again. Didn't hear back and found out he had a girlfriend. So it sounds like, if I'm reading this correctly, he asked you out when he had a girlfriend, which, yeah, is a super dog move, really, and reflects so much on him and his values. Look, this is, if he's investing further and if he's wanting to be with you and work towards things, that's when he owes you an explanation. But I would be really weary with this one, Lexi, because if he's done that once, there's a strong chance that that can happen again. So I'd be very weary with this one. I think I'm following the story. I think we only get certain details here, but I think that's what's happened. So if that's right, let me know. But how do I confront him? He can only be confronted if he wants to be confronted, if that makes sense. If he wants to talk it over and he wants to build something with you, that's when you can confront him about it. But if he's avoiding the problem and doesn't want to deal with it, then he's just showing that he's not owning what he's done and that he's not going to be involved with you and not going to be a great potential partner. So that's my thoughts on that one, Lexi. Did you want to come in? Guys, we have a very special guest. Come on in, my wonderful friend. You know her well.
Can I sit on this chair?
Yes, you certainly can. Look who it is.
Hello.
Oh, one of my favorite people in the whole world. Jamia's come online with us. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. I've missed you. We haven't done filming in a good month or so, guys. So we do a few film days, and I like to do as much content as I can on a film day. I only get to see this little one, once every month or so. Yeah, we do. We had the awesomest Sizzler dinner the other day.
Oh my God, it's so good. Oh, so good.
We're literally, I don't know if you guys have Sizzler over in the States, but here we have this Sizzler restaurant, and it's pretty much you go there and just gorge until you can't walk anymore, and it's the best. Yeah.
Oh yeah. God, it's so good.
We were the last people there by a long way. You know the point where the staff are like, when are these idiots leaving? That was
packing up the chairs. Like
that was us. Yeah. No, it was a great night. So Jamia, the live is over here. So we've got a few questions coming through. Lily says, "Hi Jamia."
Hi Lily.
What do you think? A couple of questions. Tasha says, "Date, please." Jamia has a wonderful boyfriend, and he's a lot bigger than me. He can choke slam. He has a really good choke slam on him. It's not a good idea, Natasha. It's a very bad plan. Okay, who else we got online? Nicole's online. What types of girls you like? This girl, I love reject.
What?
Do you mind? I can see what you're doing here.
I just can't.
Natasha says, what to do when a guy still contacts you, but his energy isn't as flirtatious as it was before? This change happened within 1 week. We've been talking for a month. It's LDR as well. So this is very new.
Relationship.
Yeah, it's long distance. I'm assuming this is a relationship because, just clarify that, Natasha. So, or Natasha, I think it's pronounced. If you've actually, when you call this a relationship, are you actually saying, yep, we're dating exclusively? Is that the situation you're in here? Because that's a little different. I talked in a recent video about building attraction in long distance relationships. And one of the hardest things is the difference between a relationship where you've spent a lot of time together and then you go long distance versus a relationship where you start long distance and have no real foresight into actually meeting up soon. Because a lot of these relationships start, you meet someone online, he lives in Chicago, you live in Detroit, and are they far apart?
I don't know.
They're far apart.
I know the names.
San Diego, and there's no plans to meet in the middle. Or worse, he lives in Europe, and there's no plans to meet in the middle. So these are so hard, guys. And if there's no plans, I don't recommend going exclusive. And I simply say that because number one, it kills attraction. It's the old saying of if you cage a bird, all it wants to do to escape is escape. If you let it fly free, all it wants to do is come back. You can meet people around the other side of the world and form incredible connections. But if you try and cage them with no future anticipation of actually being in person, you're not even, in the next 6 months planning to be together or do something together, you're literally just going to create a cage which eventually that person's going to want to break out of. The more consistent way to build attraction is to be okay with them flying free and then hope that in the future you guys can organize circumstances. Yes, they may hook up with other people in the meantime, and that sucks, but they're still going to wonder how you're so high value, how you're so confident, and go, okay, I still want to meet this person in the future, even if it's a year down the line. So Natasha, in terms of where you're at, if it's only been a month, you can't, if you're in a full-blown relationship, only a month, only long distance, you've got to think about, is this the best way to keep this guy's attraction? Like, what are you doing? Are you talking every night? We probably need a few more details, but trying to cage him up. I talk about this in the Ask Mark video, I think from 2 or 3 weeks ago, so make sure you check that out. But the more you try and cage a guy in this situation, the more he's just going to want to break out of it. So if you're not in a relationship yet, I would say keep it not in a relationship. If you are, and you're already, and he's pulling back, there's not much. You can't force someone, especially when you're not in physical proximity, to want to come back. All you can do is be your best high value self and hope that he comes back. You can be flirty, you can do the right things, but if there's no physical connection there and he's not feeling the pull of coming back from you living your high value life, then you can't force these things. Okay. I want to answer one from the online questions. So I'll answer one of these, Jamia.
Okay.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah, ditto.
Oh, it's so good. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, my pleasure.
Isn't she great? Just how good is she, guys? Like in the demo videos, I would be nowhere without this one. Okay. Katie says, I've liked this guy for a while and found out my best friend liked him.
Ooh.
So I never told her. I've liked this guy for a while and I found out my best friend liked him, so I never told her. The guy I like and my best friend are now dating. The guy I like doesn't really like her though. He acts different around me. He asked, do I have a boyfriend? He said he loved me and he needed me. Yeah, but I don't know what that means. So I replied a comment to Katie here online and I basically said, this is horse shit. If he's doing it, what the hell is he doing?
Oh, wow. No, you don't want to get involved with him anyway. He's a jerk.
I was like, he is not only bad for her, but he's bad for you as well.
Yeah, like you don't want to get tangled up in that. Yuck.
Now, I basically said something to that nature, and Katie replied, hi again, Mark. My friend now hates me for this, and now everyone I know thinks we are dating, and he likes me and all. I want to date him even though he's still with my ex-friend now.
Katie,
what are you doing?
smack.
She'll hit you. She'll do it. Everyone thinks they are starting to break up. So when they break up, should I step in? Well, Katie, I think he's a douchebag.
Huge douchebag. It's such childish, yuck behavior. Like you don't want that in your life. And some random guy who's not even a good, I'm not going to say he's not a good person because I don't know him, but someone who's not exhibiting good traits in a relationship is not someone that you want to get into a relationship with anyway, and it's not losing a friend over something like that anyway.
Yeah, it's you don't want to be losing yourself good friends over guys that behave like this. It's so not worth it. And you can't prioritize people like this over people who have been such a priority in your life and have added value, and now you've lost one over it. I mean, hopefully you can mend the bridges and come back. But Katie, I would not be going after this guy. I would be siding with the friend for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How are we doing? Your friend forever says, what is your relationship to Jamia, Mark? I don't know. So me and Jamia met a while back and became good friends, but we didn't connect that much until I decided I wanted to start doing YouTube videos. So we met I think it was just the once, wasn't it?
Yep, just the once.
And then we sort of knew each other. I thought, oh, this is a really cool chick. I was doing my own thing at the time, and connected well, but didn't really follow up. And so I met Jamia. I called Jamia again when I was looking for someone to help me with the videos. And I thought, oh, who is someone that can really demonstrate that high value and live it as well, and who embodies that and almost could do demos with me really almost without having to act. And that's when I thought of her, and she fits it perfectly. So she's been amazing for the channel. Another question from Madame 360, Madame 360, and we'll go to the live ones after this one, guys. So stick around. Madame 360 says, Madame. Hello, Mark. I love your advice and congrats. I have a question about being picky segment of the video and about dating people that are not your type. I hear from men and women alike that say they will not want a relationship with someone that they do not find somewhat attractive. They often say that it's not fair to the person, can affect sexual intimacy, etc. So how important is physical attraction to a relationship, if important at all? Is it shallow to want to date a person that you find somewhat handsome or beautiful? What are your thoughts? To give you a bit of background, I had a great question come in, someone who said, what's the difference between being picky versus having standards? I'm not sure if I'm just being too picky or if I'm sticking to my standards. And the basic answer I gave was the difference is pickiness is a lot more superficial. So someone who's picky, like if you lined up 10 men, or if you lined up 20 men in front of a woman who's picky, she will look at them all from a very superficial level, think almost Tinder, and go, no, yes, he's hot.
Yeah.
And she'll dive in with kind of the sniper approach without getting to know them.
Yeah.
A woman with high standards, on the other hand, she gets her hands dirty in the sense that she gets in there and she gets to know men. Yeah. She doesn't judge a book by its cover. She meets them all. She goes single but dating. She'll chat. She'll at least have a chat to all of them because she's a good person and she wants to get to know people. And then as she gets to know men, she will decide based on what they show her whether any of them meet her standards. Yeah. So it's more of a shotgun type approach where she's not gonna, I'm gonna swipe right on this guy, but he's a maybe, I'm gonna say yes, he's a maybe, yes, he's a maybe. I might spend half an hour with him and I'll give him a chance. Yeah. That's sort of the difference. So it's this classic, like, Tinder is the epitome of this. It's like, I have so many options. I'm only gonna date people who are chiseled abs, 6'3". Yeah. And you just end up with terrible relationships because you're being very picky. High standards is, no, I'm not afraid to meet all these people and then I'm going to assess them for high standards. Yeah. So that's where that comment comes from. In terms of physical attraction, how important is physical attraction to a relationship?
Personally, I think it is important to have the elements of physical attraction, but either way, someone's looks aren't necessarily just their physical attraction because their personality has so much weight into whether or not they are an attractive person. And I think that kind of plays into it a lot. So someone who's like the best looking guy in the world, you're gonna be like, oh my God, at first. But as soon as you get to know him, you're kind of like, you're an ugly
this
person.
Guy's actually a 2.
Yeah.
Like, I hate using numbers, but that's kind of what, that's how you're thinking.
Yeah, you're just like, someone who's physically attractive isn't necessarily a good person or an attractive person. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's always how I've looked at things as well. It's like,
yeah, and I agree. And you will grow physical attraction for people. That is a thing that will happen. Like, there's literally science behind the dopamine release and those things that will happen. I know couples who, one comes to mind in particular, and she said when she met her now husband, she said, I would never go for this type of guy. And she's like, I just took the date because I thought I'd try something different. Is not the type of guy I'd ever go for. I wasn't feeling super physically attractive at first. Like, it was very much a maybe, but I just took it. And as I got to know him, he became so attractive to me. And that definitely happens in both directions, in both men and women. We've all, as guys, we've all met men who, this is one of the things I hate about the male side of the industry, is guys go, oh, go and talk to those 10s. And then 10s. And then they end up in a conversation and they go, this person is actually terrible for me and not attractive at all. The difference with men is men go, well, I'd still like to have sex with her even though I don't like her as a person that much. A lot of men will do that. Men. But physical attraction is important on a level, but it does grow as you get to know someone. Yeah. And so we're not saying, by having high standards, I'm not saying go on dates with people you find repulsive. Definitely not. But if there's someone who you're like, maybe, it's really about getting in there and getting to know people. It's about not having that judgment and seeing what comes, because you just never know. If he's a maybe, he might become a super physical attraction. If he's a super, he might become a maybe, he might become a nothing. You just don't know. So the answer is get in there and find out. Get in there, meet people, find out, and as time goes on, if that person is right and their personality is right, the physical attraction will come. Let's go to a couple of live questions. This is Lexi's question from before. Jamia changed her hair color again.
Yes.
She did. She was blonde in those videos, and now she's...
It's short now, though.
It is short.
So that's another change. It's a color and
a cut.
Cut and color.
Jamia's changed her hair color again. Okay, let's have a look at these. Which one will we go?
I can't read.
Jamia can't read.
I can read.
Okay.
Just can't see.
Question from before, which was Lexi, who had the guy who asked her out on a date, I think, while he had a girlfriend and now broken up with her and he's talking to her again. Lexi says, I'm not trying to date the guy. It's an impossible situation and I have a boyfriend. Okay, right, cool. Would not cheat. Awesome. But I miss the friendship and want to stand up for myself. Want explanation and apology. Super bugs me. Look, closure has to come from you. If he wants to apologize for his actions, he will do it. You can't force someone to apologize. I mean, if you want to stay friends with him, you can chat about that and he will invest in the friendship too. But you can't force someone to apologize. And especially since you guys have previously hooked up, it's going to be, friends usually need something to connect on. Yeah. Like most people I'm friends with, especially females, it's like we had a thing to connect us. Like we rock climbed together for a while, or we went to Toastmasters together, or we went to school together. There's usually some sort of scenario where you spend a lot of time together outside of the two of you and you formulate that friendship. And then when that scenario finishes, you stay friends. So it's like, for me and Jamia, a big part of it was we did the videos together. We had scenarios that forced us together and we'd stay friends if we stopped the videos now. But there was that scenario. I don't think we would have been friends if a scenario hadn't brought us together. So trying to be friends with a former hookup where you don't have that scenario is difficult. And the friendship's not going to be the same because it was based around, you know, the hookup and a different frame relationship. Yeah. So Lexi, I mean, without talking to you individually about the exact scenario, I could obviously give you practical ways to handle it exactly. But I wouldn't be, if he's not willing to work for the friendship, and sit down with you, and then you guys can chat about it. If he's going, oh, I want to be friends too, yeah, start with that, and then you go, well, this was really weird. Like, let's clear the ground, call him out on it, and then go, let's clear the ground so we can continue our friendship without that hanging over us. And he wants to do that, awesome. But otherwise, I wouldn't. Yeah. I wouldn't force this. He has to want the friendship as well. Mm-hmm. That's when you can bring this up.
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah, I can't nothing to add. I disagree.
Jan says, how do I handle being... Oh, Jan, great to have you online as well. Thank you so much for commenting on the videos. It's great. I'm really glad you could make it. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Jamie, we've got about 35, 38 watching at the moment.
Oh, happy Valentine's. What's out the day after? Boxing Valentine's Day.
It's America.
Happy Valentine's Day.
So it's right now, it's about 10:30 in New York and it's about 7:30 in Los Angeles, where a lot of the viewers are.
Ah, New York, home of the pizza.
She's right. Okay, let's get on with useful content. Okay. A couple of good questions coming through. Keep them coming through, guys. We've got one from JN. JN says, how do I handle being ghosted after 4 months of serious dating? It's been 2 months now since he stopped talking. Wow. But 45 days since I sent him any text. I'm thinking about breaking the no contact. So JN, essentially it's disappeared for whatever reason. Yeah. And it's stopped cold at the time. You probably have your suspicions, but both men and women, certainly I've had the immediate ghost, and obviously a lot of you would have experienced too. Have you had a guy just disappear dating? No, you're too popular.
I don't know. Probably. Like, I just have a bad memory.
You have these, and these swings can happen in dating. It's one of the things that, one of the adaptions of modern dating is we all have to change our expectations a little bit and realize that the right person will act in the right way, but there's also lots of people who will just disappear, and that's shit. But if we learn to adapt to that, then we can handle it and move on to find the right person. it is what it is. Let's adapt. So to answer the question, if it's been that long and you're having thoughts, there's no reason that you can't get back in contact. There's no reason you can't try.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben. Been thinking of you. What's been happening? Add some value. I've been busy with this. Would be great to catch up and float it with him. Would you add
I'd
anything?
be so dirty.
You're
I'm
dirty.
like, you ghost me for I'll ghost you. But
Yeah.
I'm also very petty.
Yeah.
Petty.
No, and that's yeah. I agree, because this is if you really want to give it another shot. I always say, if you really want to give it another shot with someone in this way, you can put yourself on the line, because ultimately there's nothing. You leave no stone unturned for you.
Yeah.
If he doesn't reply again, you're not going to be sitting there going, should I, shouldn't I?
Wondering. You've done all the steps that you need to take.
And you're like, what? Because once you've done that, you can feel great. You can walk away going, I gave him every chance, he blew it.
Yep.
I agree. I completely agree with Jamia though. If I was ghosted after 2 months, it would obviously depend on the scenario as well. Like if we're kind of both ghost each other, because I've had that happen where two people just sort of float apart, and then I've literally had this happen. Like 2 months later, you're like, why did we stop talking? And she's like, I don't know why we stopped talking either.
Yeah.
Just a miscommunication of whatever. Maybe both people are feeling a bit unloved or something, but that can happen. And if someone was vulnerable and said, hey, I've been missing you, the other person will go, oh, I've been missing him too, you'd reconnect.
Yeah. So
you don't lose anything in scenarios like this, you don't lose anything by throwing a Hail Mary and seeing what happens. And it's more important for you, if anything, than for him, because it makes you go, yeah, okay, I played every card. Yeah. Now I can walk away from the table happy with my actions. And it's about making you feel good. Yeah. Okay. Now, there was another good one. Who was this from? Where was it? Was it that one? There's another one. Oh, okay. Clements says, hi, Mark. Just wondering, if I'm seeing multiple people and one wants commitment, what's your suggestion on communicating that I need more time to decide what's right for me? High five.
Yeah, good.
Great question. We actually did a video on this. We actually did, but it hasn't been published yet. Do you remember? You don't remember, do you? You're on the couch.
I was on the couch?
You were on the couch and we were doing demos. It's a video. It'll probably be in about 4 to 6 weeks.
I do remember. Yes,
there you go.
Remember.
Ding. Light bulb moment. Yeah, we actually did a video on this. So there's sort of a couple of different scenarios, but essentially what you want to do is you want to say that you need to stay casual right now for you. So for example, let's say Jamia says to me, hey, Mark, I want us to be on the same page. What do you think of commitment? Or what do you think of going exclusive? Or what's your thoughts on it? I just want to go ahead so we're on the same page. And I would say if I wanted to stay casual but still be respectful, I would say something like this. I would say, look, I'm really enjoying dating you. I'm really genuinely enjoying seeing you. For me, made a promise to myself that I wouldn't commit in a short amount of time. And you can even say why. You can even say, to be completely honest with you, I've dated some girls that I don't think were right for me. And I've noticed that I haven't made the best decisions with commitment. So I said to myself, look, I'm going to give it X amount of time. I said to myself, I'm going to see someone for at least 10 weeks before I commit to anything beyond casual, before I commit to anything exclusive. If you can support me in that, Jamia, that's awesome. Like, I do want to keep seeing you. I'm really enjoying where it's going. So if you can support me in that, I'd love to keep seeing you. But for right now, I made this promise to myself, and it's a promise I'm going to keep. So I hope you can understand that. So if you can support me in that, that's awesome. If you can't accept that, that's okay too. I completely understand your decision. You're essentially putting the ball in their court, but you're saying that you're doing it for you and asking for their support and their help in that. So when you're vulnerable and when you're honest, a man's not going to come after you for it. He may not accept it, but he's not going to come after you for it. And if that's okay, you're being honest. If he can't handle that, if he can't handle the fact that you guys are still casual, that's okay. He can go off. But again, you're doing this for you because you said you're not ready yet. So if he doesn't want to wait, And especially if it's early, if this is like 3 or 4 weeks in and he doesn't want to wait, it's already a bit of a red flag that he's trying to push things forward fast.
Yeah.
So that in itself is a tell. That's sort of how I'd communicate that, Clements. So let me know. Any thoughts? Additional thoughts?
I don't know about additional thoughts. I think it's kind of around respect. Like, you're respecting yourself and you're doing this for yourself, but you want him to be able to respect your decisions as well. And then if he can't do that, he's respecting himself or whatever, and then that's okay. So as long as there's a clear understanding between everyone involved, it's gonna go well. So if he arcs up and is just like, no, we've got to be in a relationship, then it's like, okay, well, you don't want to be with that anyway. So it's like, okay, you're not respecting my thoughts and decisions.
Yeah.
You need to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Very clear. I like that. I like that a lot.
Respect is very important, I think.
Respect is massive. Actually, who was it? Mark Manson did an article and he interviewed couples. Mark Manson's amazing, by the way. Mark Manson, fuck yes or no. Look up that article. It's one of the best dating articles you'll ever read on the internet. Look that one up. But he did an article recently on couples who have been married 15 years or more. Actually, it was 10 years or more. And he did windows of 10 to, was it 5 years or more? He did windows of, I think, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, and 20 plus. And he interviewed about 1,000 couples who had been together that long. And he came to an interesting, he sort of said, what's your secret? What is it? What keeps it together? And obviously things like, you know, working on the relationship, stuff like that came up. Communication came up. And the one thing he said that was interesting was once couples got to 15 or 20 years, they actually said there's one thing more important than communication, and that's respect. Because communication at some point inevitably drops out. There's some point where you get pissed at them and communication drops, and that's where the fail-safe of respect comes in. Because you can get communication back if you keep respect when you're not communicating. It's when respect goes to shit and communication's gone, that's when everything falls apart. Because if you think about it, if you stop communicating and you keep respect, you're going to still treat that person well. You're not going to talk behind their back. You're not going to complain to friends or family, and you're going to be able to come back and sort shit from a good place. Whereas if you don't respect them, you go away, you complain, you bitch about them, you don't respect their things, you don't respect them, the kids, whatever it is, that's gonna end it. Yeah. So I love that point about respect because that's huge. Let's have another question on here. So Taisha, thanks for joining us, Taisha. It's great to have you. So this is a bit of a long one, so I'll have a read of it. My friend, does that start earlier? No, I think it's here. Let's see if we can make sense of this. My friend invited me to spend a week with him at the resort and then asked me to spend Christmas with him and his family. We've become intimate. So I asked what we were in his opinion. Okay, so my friend invited me to spend a week with him at the resort, then asked me to spend Christmas. You've met his family, you've been intimate. Okay, he said, what are we? He said that we are more than friends, but because we are very far apart distant-wise, he doesn't think it is feasible to be in a relationship. And that could be a reasonable statement. For Christmas, he gave me several very personal and meaningful presents. I don't know what to think or do. I texted him Happy Valentine's Day and got no response. Eek. And last time we spoke was New Year. Okay.
Oh, so he feels pushed that you, or got the vibe that you wanted to be in a relationship, and there's now pulling back because he's like worried? That's kind of what I read into that. That's why he would be pulling back or whatever.
I got the vibe from that he's kind of gone, I want the girlfriend experience over Christmas. I'm going to
the holidays and whatever.
The stuff we talk about, the companionship, guys, the support and love, the excitement, the sex on tap. It sounds like Taisha, he's gotten pretty much sort of the whole experience. He's gotten he's gotten everything we've talked about. And then after Christmas, you've said, hey, what are we? And he's said, I think in the nicest way possible, look, I'm not going ahead with this at this stage. Like, he's enjoying what he's getting, but whether his reason is, whether it's actually the long distance thing or whether it's something deeper that he's feeling, it sounds like with that message, he's given you the hint that he's basically saying, look, this is temporary. This is not this is a temporary thing. And then the fact that you haven't heard from him since New Year's, which is a bloody long time now. That's over a month. A month and a half. Yeah. And then no reply on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, not a good sign.
Yeah. he wanted the experience there. And to be fair, it sounds like you enjoyed the experience as well, but you had different expectations of what it would lead to. You know, that really sucks. I think in this case, that's literally what's happened to Isha. So hopefully let us know if you have a follow-up question to that. I'm happy to clarify anything, but that would be my opinion of it.
Yeah, that sounds.
Remember, I keep ranting on about this, but there is so much guys love about relationships that are well beyond sex. And guys will use you for these other things if you let them. And I talked before about the sort of guys wanting the companionship, the support and love, all that stuff. Like, guys love to have, even if it's on a casual basis, if you're over his place 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week, and he's getting like his little spoon, his regular sex, his best friend, like he's getting all that. Yeah, what's the motivation to upgrade and go, oh, I'll make her a girlfriend as well?
Yeah, because then you have to deal with the issues of relationships.
Yeah.
But while you're on that terms, you're like, no, I only get the good stuff. And like, we're not even together, so you can't even put this on me.
Yeah,
just like,
He gets all,
you.
He gets all the good without any of the relationship dramas.
Difficult.
He gets what he wants,
Yeah.
which is the stuff we talked about, and you didn't get what you want, which is a relationship. So don't
support and whatever.
Give men what they want when you get what you want, guys. Reciprocation for reciprocation, respect for respect. Next question. What's that say? Is it a sign a man is interested when he remembers your difficult name after meeting him, after not seeing him for 6 months? That was from Rokal. Rokal says, is it a sign he's interested if he remembers a difficult name after meeting him and not seeing him for 6 months?
I don't know about interested per se, but definitely memorable. Like, obviously there's a piqued interest there, but not necessarily like, oh, that girl with the weird name, I love her. Like, you
made an impression on him.
Yeah,
it's great. So go explore, move forward. Alone, not a sign of necessary interest, but you made a great first impression. Yeah,
like me. I did.
But she shines in social situations. It's like, I'm still here, guys. Listen to me too. It's just Jimmy up.
That's rude. That's not shining. That's obnoxious.
No,
I'm not obnoxious.
You, in a very vibrant way. In a very this one. Okay, next question. Mark, can you talk about long distance relationships? Been talking to this guy for 4 months. He lives out of the country. I like him and he likes me too. Yeah, Pixie, we talked about this a little bit before, so I won't repeat myself too much. You can scroll back on the replay. But the hard part is knowing without a future, long distance is very tough. And when I say future, I mean a future planned meetup or the possibility you guys can be there in person. If there's like an indefinite, the issue is our brains are designed even more so to fantasize and pull us towards long distance, because the natural, if you want to know more about this, read the book Why We Love by, what's the name? It's by a PhD. The name escapes me, but Why We Love. Have a read of that book. And it talks about how the brain's chemical signaling system is more inclined to fall in love with someone who's obsessed over and fall in love with someone who's not physically present. This can lead you down a bad path because lots of people meet someone online and they get these buzzes of hormones relating to this person. And it's like an indefinite thing. There's no set date to meet up and start exploring your compatibility, because this can go on for a long time. Like, you only have so many years where you're completely single and completely free and can take advantage of all the benefits of that. And if you spend a lot of them investing in people who are quite literally not compatible with you, they live in a different country, that makes them incompatible, and there's no future of them coming, it's very difficult to really build anything with them, because you're clocking out of your local scene for someone that's a completely untested entity. It's very difficult, Pixie. So I talked about this before, but don't cage the bird. It's great that you like each other, but you've got to keep connecting on Skype. You've got to keep connecting via the phone. Keep the connections going. Keep building your own life. Keep hearing about his, showing interest. If things are meant to be, though, you have to meet up in person at some point.
Make the plans to actually do it.
Yeah. I talk about the concept of being frozen in time. Long distance relationships are frozen in time. You can connect with someone for 2 years on a long distance relationship, and it's the same as 3 months in a real life. because you still only see that person for what, an hour a day or whatever it is. You still get the window of the best. And the window of the best is the 3 months, the 3 to 6 months. You only see the good. You in real life, that 6 to 12 months, you start to see, oh, this is how they're when they're stressed. This is how they act. This is how they act when they're on a bad day. This is how they handle shit when shit's not going well. You see all that. You don't see any of that long distance. You just don't see it. So you can't know, your compatibility can't go beyond about the 3 month mark of a normal relationship. And so many people waste years with the dopamine hits, sending them after someone who's long distance when you feel so compatible, but it's just the fact that your brain in a lot of ways is almost playing tricks on you and you haven't had that real life experience to know. It's not that you necessarily aren't, but you just don't know. So they're big risks. They're high risk, low reward typically. And the more you try and cage that person, the worse it is. So I think, Pixie, you've really got to look at making plans to meet him in the coming 6 months. Yeah. Because if that isn't there, then you're focusing on someone who is very highly likely not compatible, even if it feels that way.
And it could just be like the romanticized version of them that you've built up and be like, oh, they're probably like this and like this. And that's become like the reality for you, even though it's not necessarily true.
Yeah. It's like meeting people on holidays.
Yeah.
It's like when you meet someone on a holiday and you're like, this person's amazing. They're so wonderful. You spend 2 incredible days together and then you spend 6 months talking and then they come visit and you're like, this isn't what happened here? You were really like sexy and free overseas. Yeah. Like, what is this? I want the other one back. It happens constantly. And a lot of people end up in relationships that don't work and spend a lot of time hoping for them because of that holiday phenomenon, that intense hit, and then a lot of distance. So be really aware of that, Pixie. Let's go to another question. We had a bloke question come in before. We had a bloke's question come in before. Yeah, we had Saiful coming on before. And Saiful said, Mark, this chick rejected me. She continues to chase me. I'm a man, haha. But is it her job to ask me out because I respected myself? This chick rejected me. I don't understand how she rejects you but continues to chase you. So I'm guessing that...
you asked her out and she said no? Or
I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
And then she continues to chase. Okay. It could be that she's seeking attention, validation.
People need to be loved. Yeah. It could be what it is. Like, obviously, it's really hard to say without knowing the full kind of scope of the situation, but that seems like it could be what it is. She just wants the attention from you, and whatever it is, wants that thing and wants you in her life, but on her terms.
The validation sort of seeking. Yeah, mate, I'd be really, if a girl did that to me, I might give her a second chance to just see if something weird happened, like to just double check the rejection wasn't a misunderstanding. But then if she kept playing that, I'd be like, no, I'm not giving you the validation and attention you're after. You're either in or you're out. You're not taking this, getting what you want without me getting what I want. Yeah. Okay, so that was a great question though. I like that one. Okay. We answered that one. Jan writes, what if I just want closure in terms of knowing what went wrong because I'm afraid to be ghosted by a guy again otherwise? Should I ask him about it again? He didn't answer why before, or leave it be. So, Jameer, this is the one from before where, this was the one where it was over a month, I think.
Yeah, the one from New Year's?
I don't think it was the one from New Year's. No, I think it was, how do I handle being, similar one to that.
Oh, okay.
How do I handle being ghosted after 4 months of serious dating? It's been 2 months now since he stopped talking, but 45 days since I sent him any text. And Jan writes, how do I achieve closure? Me or you?
I'd say you for now because I want to gauge what I think.
Okay. In terms of, Jan, you said something interesting here. You said, should I ask him about it again because he didn't answer why before? Asking guys for feedback on why they rejected you, particularly casual guys. Not so much in long-term committed relationships, but asking casual guys why they ghosted or why they rejected, I would not do it. And the reason is it very rarely works, and a lot of the time it actually has the opposite effect and leads you down the wrong path. This happens for two reasons. Number one, most men aren't emotionally aware enough to actually know really deeply why. But number two, even if they do, they're rarely going to tell you the truth, because you're not a long-term girlfriend who they knew well. And men don't inherently want you to feel like shit. They don't want to feel like they're going to make you feel shit. They, unless you've done something horrible to them, they don't want to do something horrible. They just weren't feeling the attraction. So closure, Jen, has to come from you. Lots of women, particularly after breakups, lots of women go, I just want to have one more chat to him so I can get closure. I just want to hear, I just need to know why. I need one more thing. And then if they manage to get that meeting, they end up feeling like shit anyway afterwards. There's nothing the guy can say that's going to give you closure. Closure has to come from inside you. Closure has to come from you processing the situation and you understanding that for his reasons, and possibly for reasons that you will never know. In fact, probably for reasons that you will never know, it wasn't right for him. And that's all the closure you need. You can't go on this closure chase and hope that he will find it for you. It has to come from inside you. I can tell you, I've been there, Jen. I've had women who have just disappeared on a whim. Particularly quite a few years ago. I remember one in particular, and things were going so well, and she literally just disappeared. And I never knew why, never found out. But the fact of the matter is she wasn't right for me. And even though it took some processing, I think it wasn't too bad at the time. It took a little bit of processing, but that's the bottom line, is she wasn't who she said she was on some level. There was either something going on, or there was some other guy she liked more, or there was some doubt she had. There was something I missed that wasn't right. I remember I talked to a girl recently who'd been dating a guy for 3 months and they'd been going amazingly. And then one weekend, he was just really weird around her, really weird. And then he disappeared after that. And she said to me, this guy was this for 3 months. This weekend isn't him. I want this guy that I've known for 3 months. Like, he was so not himself. Why won't he talk to me? What's wrong? That was him. If he's gone and if he's made that decision, that was a part of him. It was just a part you hadn't seen yet in that first 3 months. That's what I said to her. And it's the same with you, Jen. You saw a part of this guy for 2 months, but then something caused him to pull away. Something with him, something with his life. It could have been anything. But it was a side of him you hadn't seen yet. And it was a side of him where you go, okay, there was something here that wasn't right for him. And if it wasn't right for him, that means he wasn't right for me. And that's where the closure has to come from. The closure has to come from you. So I think that, should you ask him about it again? No is my opinion, because number one, closure has to come from you. And number two, men, even if they're emotionally aware enough to know, won't tell you the truth. They'll say things like, I wanted to focus on myself, or I just wasn't ready for a relationship at that time. They'll give you cop-out answers that don't get to the real reason. That could be he just wasn't that non-physically attracted. He could have seen a red flag in your personality that he didn't like. He could have felt like you had an agenda to get him into a relationship and he felt there was too much pressure. It could have been any of those things, but you don't get to know in dating, because men, they don't want to make you feel like shit, and they're not going to say, well, I didn't find you that attractive, or I felt like you were too money driven, or I felt like you just wanted to relationship me. They don't say those things because it's too honest for someone who's you don't know that well. So I hope that answers your question, Jen. No, I wouldn't ask him.
That was good. That was a good explanation. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay, let's do one question from the piece of paper. Okay, this is actually one that I thought was this was one I thought was interesting. So Sabrina wrote in a good question, and this was again relating to the standards versus being picky comment that we talked about. Having standards, don't be picky, and the difference. So Sabrina says, I loved your reply to that question in the way how to have standards without being picky. I'm in a no mode, and you might be right. This is not the way to go about it. So that's awesome awareness from Sabrina.
Yeah.
How do you date someone you're not attracted to, or just give it a try?
To just give it a try.
Oh, to just give it a try. I've tried it before, and I end up breaking the guy's heart. I hate admitting it, but if I don't find a guy attractive in my eyes, there's no way I will fall for him. What is the guideline about dating a guy that is not exactly your perfect pick, but someone you can still fall for? Awesome question. Really, really good question, Sabrina. I love this question, so I wanted to get this online.
Good honesty as well, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Did you want to say something? I feel like I'm doing...
No, you're good. Yeah.
So, Sabrina, a big thing here is it's literally just about seeing if there is that connection there. And it might just be half an hour you spend with someone. And again, it's not people you find but ugly. It's just someone you go, he could be a good bloke. I can see some attraction there. I'm just going to go and have a normal chat and connect with him and be normal with him. So it's literally just about getting out of this no mode that you've been very honest and said you were in. And in terms of breaking the guy's heart, look, that comes further down the line. You're not going to break a guy's heart seeing him for half an hour on a couple of consecutive dates. If you do, that's his problem and his responsibility. Yeah. You just got to make sure, obviously, you're not leading him on, yeah. Which I don't think you could do in a couple of short dates. But obviously, if you are, check that. But yeah, you can't... Hey, a minute. Yeah, who was the guy on? Anyway. Yeah, and this is... I literally just say, get in there and get a superficial look, Sabrina. So book in a half-hour date. Book in a half hour. If you're serious about dating, you can put that time aside and make it a priority to go on a few half-hour dates a week. Hell, you could do 3, 4 in a day. I'm serious. I'm deadly serious.
That's good.
You could. And
get on a train.
You're getting just meeting a guy in each carriage. Hey. You can meet so many men if you really prioritize this, and it doesn't take a lot of time. Even if you don't have time for dates, you can chat on the phone to them. They might be really funny. Like, yeah. You just never know. So if you don't have time to go on a few coffee dates for half an hour each, you can do a few phone calls for an hour, 20 minutes of phone call, talk to 3 men, see who you connect with. It's not about dating someone you're not attracted to. It's just about getting out there and I guess connecting with men. Yeah, really connecting and appreciating men of all shapes and sizes. And this isn't to date them. This is just to get out there and connect and really find an appreciation in men, I think.
And I think in doing that, you discover more traits that you like about their personality that will bring out more attractive physical qualities in them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I say before, you'll find some guys who you go, oh, he's not that much. And you go, after 2 dates, you go, you know what, this guy, he's pretty funny. Like, I actually love hanging out with him. I'm going to go on a third. And you never know what will happen from there. And he'll become more attractive in your eyes. And then there's the others who will start out really attractive and not go down that line. So I think to give you a practical guideline to follow, if you divided all the guys online or even live that you meet into sort of 4 categories, where it's like A is, holy shit, I think this is a 10, I'm about to melt, he's so attractive. Yeah, bling, he's whatever, got all the traits, all the looks, great job, the Bachelor. A is the Bachelor. B is, okay, this guy's not bad. He's he's reasonably attractive. Not everything I'm looking for, but not bad. C is on the fence, maybe, like not sure at all. And D is like not in a million years. You want to be giving time. You want to be booking in sort of, even if it's just a half-hour date or a phone call, to connect with all 3 of those first categories. So it's not about meeting these guys. These guys are usually fool's gold. They often don't come out well. It's not saying they can't, but they often are. Yeah. It's these 2 where you'll find the best connections and the best genuine people. I have 2 friends who met online. Sorry, they didn't meet online. They met at a party, but they found out they were online on the same website. Okay. And couldn't figure out why they're engaged now, but they couldn't figure out why they hadn't matched. And it was because she'd filtered in for men over 6 foot and he was only 5'10", and he'd filtered in for women who were his age or younger, and she was 1 year older than him. So they missed each other on superficial stuff that doesn't matter, and that happens constantly online. So they were very lucky to meet at a party. But yeah, I'd say, Sabrina, you want to focus on, think of the funnel effect. Think of, okay, I'm going to funnel down to have high standards. I'm not going to snipe a shot at the A's, because these guys are
hit and miss, I think.
Extremely hit and miss. Yeah, there's a lot of the good-looking guys on Tinder who can clean up, who have a good job, who can post a selfless shot, a lot of them are just on there for all the wrong reasons. And they're low percentage. These are extremely low percentage, but these two in the middle are where a lot of the gold is. And just like my friend who met the guy who she wasn't that attracted to at first, and they're now so happily married, he was probably a C for her, like a third category. She sort of said, oh, he's not really my type, I'll give him a chance. You'd be surprised, guys. And it's the same, if a man was meeting you, you wouldn't want him to go, oh, she's not hot enough, I'm not going to meet up with her.
Yeah.
You'd still want to connect with him, and even if it is just a half hour to see if you had that connection. Awesome. Let's have a look at some live comments.
Yep.
Again, we've got. Keep posting them, guys. Keep your questions coming. We'll go a little bit long. It's getting late in New York, but I'm happy to keep going. We've got quite a few of you online now, so.
Hey.
Yeah, we've got quite a few online. So thanks for joining. We just clocked over 7,000 subscribers.
Like today.
I think, last night or night before. Yeah. So 5,000 about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And now 7,000.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, incredible, right?
Yay.
10,000, you get some, they give us...
Fruit basket.
Let's get a platter. A YouTube thank you platter. No, I don't know which one they help you out with a production manager, like a YouTube production manager. I think it could be 100,000, but there's some really good like tools and support that we can use to enhance the channel when we hit that 10,000. Yeah. So as opposed to the YouTube meters, the YouTube meetups at 1,000, which are only in Indonesia, we can actually add some really cool stuff to the channel. Yeah. So it's really cool. So thank you for coming online and supporting the channel, guys. Each and every one of you, especially those that are watching right now, spending your Valentine's night with us. We really appreciate you coming online and having a chat to you. So next question, let's answer. I think Quincy had a question. Quincy, what does it mean when I ask a guy about his personal questions, his past, his exes, etc., and he denied to tell me about it? He says like things like that take time and you might just have to be patient. Okay.
That's fair, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. It can mean a lot of things. And it depends how secretive he's being with it. This would be a very hard question to answer without me and you chatting one-on-one because there's so many permutations of this situation. Obviously, there's some sort of either hurt or pain or just something he's not yet comfortable sharing, but what's the word? Like the amount of that could be anything from something quite minor where he's just like, I only just met you. I don't want to talk about my ex-girlfriend yet, right through to a brother of mine committed suicide and it killed me for 10 years. There could be, and it hurt my relationships for 10 years. There could be anything. I was coaching someone a little while ago and I think it was, she was with a man and they were having some real intimacy issues. And then the past came out that his brother, who he was very close to, had taken his own life several years before. So there's all sorts of anything from superficial, like, why are you asking so many questions straight off the bat, through to really serious things. And the balance of that is something we'd have to chat one-on-one, but it would essentially be, at what point does it get weird? Is he actively hiding things that are really just basic? Oh, why did you and your last girlfriend of a little while break up? Hey, it's been 4 months or 5 months we've been dating now and you're still hiding this. This is a bit weird. Versus it's been a few days and you're asking him about his upbringing and stuff that maybe he's not yet comfortable sharing. So a little bit of a hard one to answer there, Quincy, but the answer is, I guess it depends on the vibe, how long you've been dating. I don't know what number date it is, but obviously how long you've been in his life is the biggest factor here. Because if you've been in 12 months, it's hugely different to 12 days. So what he's doing is, it could be healthy, it could be unhealthy. It completely depends on the scale. Okay, who else is online? We've got Diana says, hi, Mark and Jamia. What are your thoughts about mixed collar dating?
Mixed collar?
Mixed collar dating.
As in like pedigree, like dogs?
Not everyone's talking about dogs, Jamia.
What does it mean?
I don't know. It must be a US term. I've never heard of that term.
Or is that like blue collar, white collar workers?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what mixed collar
Diana,
is.
can you elaborate?
Please tell me.
I don't. Yeah, Jamia really wants to know. I'd love to. I want to know as well now.
I think it's a pedigree dog thing.
You think everything's a dog.
I know.
Yes.
Because that's
The
so
only
cute.
Snapchats I get from her are dogs. It's literally just her dogs over and over and over and over again. The most fun she's had filming was just the film day where we acted out the relationship where she just rejected the boyfriend for the dog. It's just, is that your relationship? Was that scene your relationship in a nutshell? Because I'm pretty certain it would be.
No, it's not far off that. But,
It's not far off.
But Davis loves dogs as well, so
Okay.
we're like a little happy trip.
Okay. Okay.
Dog love.
So occasionally she makes time for the boyfriend over the dog.
Not
Okay.
over the dog, just as well as.
Just as well as the dog, right? Okay. Oh, it's a bit dark. I wonder if we can.
Oh yeah, we've got all the light behind us. Shadow there.
I'm just gonna see, guys, if we can lighten this up a bit. How can we? We do have the light behind us.
Yeah. What if I go put this behind the door?
Oh, maybe we could put the whiteboard behind the door. Guys, I'm just going to try popping the whiteboard behind the door just to add a bit more light to the feed.
Yeah. Oh, are you going right behind us or outside?
Oh, I was thinking outside.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh. It doesn't do anything. Oh, wait.
Help at all? No.
Let me sit in your chair. This is warm. This is very warm.
This is not as effective as I'd hoped.
No.
It's so bright outside, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we put that there.
Put that there.
Yeah, it's bigger. Oh, no, let's come back a little bit. Maybe if you just sit forward.
Yeah, no.
No, let's do that. I think it's a good idea. Yeah. Do the big one. Yeah. Yeah. Good idea.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Get you back.
Oh, sorry about the delay there, guys.
Hey! This is
Hopefully that's going to work a lot better
very
now.
makeshift.
Very
I like
makeshift. Live TV. That's what we're doing.
Really?
Live streaming. Okay. Let's have a look. Where are we at? Let's see. They've talked about collar here. Oh, we could have just shut the blinds. I didn't even think of
Shut
that.
the blinds for me!
Oh. How did you?
I didn't think you had blinds. I didn't even notice. I thought it was just open.
Oh.
They're one of those like real rolled up ones. That's amazing.
Shall we shut the blinds?
Let's just check the comments before we need to do anything else. We'll just pose the question and then
Okay.
wait.
Okay. Blue collar is Oh, so maybe it is collar.
Yes, I nailed it.
Oh, okay. So it is collar. Okay.
Oh.
Desi's in from Houston. Great to have you, Desi. Kimberly's says it's not a US term. Look, you know what? We've done it now. Yeah, I think you can see us. You can. Oh, maybe we should actually shut the blinds. Yeah. Well, that would have been an enormous amount smarter.
Ingenuity is
It's
not dead.
been a
though.
failure today.
I disagree. Not a failure.
Oh, ingenuity. Yeah, right.
Ingenuity.
Yeah.
Why are they on different sides?
I don't know. I've always wanted the same thing. That is so much better, guys.
Thank you.
Next time, we're definitely going to sort that from the beginning. Thanks, Adam, for your assistant. Incredibly obvious help there. Let's get back to the questions.
Yeah,
Okay. So mixed collar dating in terms of blue dating white, white dating blue. So that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with it.
As long as you guys are comfortable
Not
with
at
it,
all.
it's
Yeah.
fine.
People think so much about money and jobs, and it's stuff that really isn't relevant to finding the right person. Like if there's an enormous income difference that can create incompatibilities, but you can work through those things. But blue dating white is often very even similar incomes these days. Like blues often make more. So it's, no issue at all with that, guys.
Maybe not more, but it's still like a decent amount. And like, worst case, you like could both get real sick and couldn't work anyway. So what does your job mean? Just love each other.
Just love. Love it.
Jobs suck.
Jobs suck. My job's great.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, Joanna. Thanks for joining us, Joanna. Joanna says, I met an amazing guy on Tinder. He wanted to have sex after only 3 dates. I don't want to rush into sex, but he told me that unless I have sex with him, he cannot commit with me. What's your take, Mark? Okay, really good question, Joanna. Look, timing of sex is not something, it's something I talk about a lot, but it's something that I don't believe is that important, frankly. There's my last relationship, we slept together before the first date. I know plenty of other good relationships where the same is true. You've got to do it when it's comfortable for you. That's the most important thing. When is comfortable for you is when to do it. Now, in terms of commitment, if this guy is saying that, hey, I'm not going to commit exclusivity until I know that we can connect sexually, for some people that's a reasonable comment. For others, it doesn't sit. And if you guys aren't compatible in that way, then he's not right for you.
Yeah.
You've got to do it when it's comfortable for you. But the biggest thing is this, like, make sure you're not holding out sex to get a relationship. Just make sure you're not using it as some sort of bargaining tool. Yeah, because that will never work. It's about the non-physical attraction. Women, there's a really good article on the website called Men Don't Flake Because You Slept with Them Too Soon. And it talks about physical versus non-physical attraction. When it comes to sex, men are physical, but men are very non-physical attraction based when it comes to choosing a girlfriend. But what happens to a lot of women is they sleep with a guy maybe on the first or the third, whatever date, and then the guy disappears. And they say, that must have happened because I slept with him too soon. But correlation is not causation. Sex and then him flaking is not, I guess unless the sex was terrible, there's not necessarily a causation from one to the other. What's really happening there is men will chase women where the physical attraction is there and the non-physical isn't. They will continue to chase. And this isn't something women relate to as much because women aren't as visual with sex. So women, the two tend to more go together. The non-physical makes the physical stronger, etc., and pulls more on that. Whereas a man can still chase and still give the signs based on only physical. But once he's got the physical, once he's got the sex, he goes, well, the non-physical's not there. She's not the exciting woman who I want to commit to, who maybe you didn't show enough standards or show enough respect or whatever, or she has red flags, whatever it is, anything that's hurting his non-physical attraction, it was never there for him. So once the physical is kind of burnt out or exhausted, that's why the guy leaves. It's not because of the timing of sex. So yeah, the biggest thing I say is make sure you're not using it as a bartering tool of any kind. If you're going to have sex, you have to be okay with the fact that he can still leave. You can't promise the fact. Now, if you wait till a relationship, it's a lot safer of a scenario because he's much more likely to stay around. But even then, he can break up after a month. Like, you can never be certain with this. And this is why when women say, when is the best time to have sex? I say it's a bad question. It's not a question I like. And the reason is I want you to replace it with more empowering questions. So instead of asking when is the best time to have sex so I can get the guy, ask yourself, when am I comfortable having sex and I can do it for me? How do I enjoy my sexuality for me so that I'm doing it on my terms? And also, how do I become so non-physically attractive? So attractive on a non-physical basis that men would be crazy to flake on me with or without sex. When you're asking yourself those questions, you'll never again worry about when is the best time because you'll be doing it for you. So if you feel like it's going to be really devastating if you have sex and then he leaves, then it's probably not a good idea for you to have sex because you're not doing it for you. The experience is for you. And if you do it for you, you can't possibly be used for it.
And that way, even if you did have sex and then he left, at least you had fun. You had your own fun. And
hey, I had a great time. I got some.
Yeah, like, cool, well, see ya. Well, I got some sex from you. It's not like, don't think of it as this is something that you only possess and he's got to take this from you. It's something that you take from him. So, or not necessarily
it's
take
something
like
you
share.
both
like,
give and take.
Yeah,
It's
so
a double shared experience.
Yeah. It's not for him. It's for the both of you.
Yeah.
So
that's been one of the great changes about the last 50 years is women can enjoy their sexualities now and not be judged for it. Certainly judgment still happens, unfortunately, from women as well as men.
Yeah.
But they can, and it's really changing in that women can enjoy their sex. It's much more balanced now. And it's really beautiful, really, because women can go, yeah, I want to enjoy some sex. I'm gonna have some fun, and that's that. And if you're having sex for those reasons, you can't be used for it. I hope that answers your question. Let's have any other comments, guys. We've got a couple more, so we'll do another sort of 20 minutes or so, I think. So keep the questions coming. Okay. Jan. Jan says, new question. How do I handle guys at clubs wanting to dance, speak, then kiss me? I think it's too early. They even tried to get me back to their home same night. I don't like that unserious stuff. How do you handle this?
That's clubs. To be honest, I'm kind of just like, you know it's going to come, and they're the ones I would never go to a club looking for a long-term relationship, because the people out drinking, clubbing, whatever, is not something that I would enjoy or want to be a part of anyway, because it's such a limited thing of my life. But that said, if that's something that you want to do or whatever, but you don't like that, like, you can easily turn someone down being playful and cheeky and just showing how you feel on the situation. Like, you can be like, no, get out of here. Like, I don't think so. Like, there's no way you're like, you haven't been that good tonight. Like, get out of here.
Turn face, cheeky push.
Yeah, just like, no. Like, you can easily do that without making him feel bad. He'll still be like, oh, she's still cool. He's not going to go, oh, she turned me down. She's the worst. Like, rah, and like become angry. Like, you can deal with difficult situations like that in a playful manner while still getting your point across.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Jamea's really good at this stuff. If you haven't watched the video, Jan, on how to tell him you're not going to sleep with him, where Jamea demos this, she had the best time filming this in the world. Watch that video, because the way Jamea demonstrates the playful nature of telling the guy she's not going to have sex, not only will it work for you in clubs, but it'll work for you, apply the same theory to other situations like kissing, etc. Playful but firm is that balance you want to achieve. And yeah, if you're going to go to clubs, and clubs are great, I love clubs. And I know you say that the type of people you meet in clubs aren't necessarily relationship types.
Well, not even that. It's just because that's what I don't do. If you're the type who wants to go out to a club and whatever and meets people at the clubs all the time, and that's your scene, that's fine. That's just not my scene.
Yeah. I
would meet someone at a gardening expo. Like, that's what I would do.
Yeah. So yeah, I think if you're going to go to clubs, you got to know that will happen. But if you enjoy clubs, I love clubs. I grew up terrified of clubs and having to face my own fears with them. I think now every time I walk into a club, it's almost like a love of these are the environments that I conquered. So it's such a wonderful feeling for me to be in clubs. But yeah, I know a lot of women who spend a lot of time in clubs, and it comes with the territory, but it doesn't mean you have to be a victim of it, but not even victim, just kind of, it doesn't mean that you can't control your environment, you can't control the outcomes of it. You still can, and you can still have a great time in clubs if that's what you enjoy. Let's go to another question. You'll love this one, Jamea. Sarah Jasmine writes in, according to a men's website that I won't mention because I don't want to give them any more publicity, the solution to any dating problem is increase your outer beauty and lower your standards. And then Sarah goes on to say, it made me realize how men are naturally wired to give in and value outer beauty above all else, which is fine by me. I can accept and work with that. There's no denying it adds to the pressure knowing I have to look the part. What do you think of a men's website that says women should focus on increasing their outer beauty and lowering their standards?
Delete your history. You never need to go back to that website because that's absolute trash. And anyone who tells you that you have to be beautiful in order to be attractive is not someone worth your time or not an ideal that you need to subscribe to whatsoever. That's really triggered me. That's fired me up so bad. Yeah. That's disgusting advice. and should not be put out there. Oh, I can't even handle that.
No, I had the same reaction. I've read this already, so my reaction right now isn't as strong, but 100% agree with everything she said. Terrible advice. If you focus, like I say, if you focus on your physical attraction above and lower your standards for your non-physical, you'll end up with guys who are basically looking for trophies, and they'll have no respect for you. So you'll be a trophy that if they even stay with you, you get cheated on, disrespected, treated horribly in the relationship. Don't even consider subscribing to any of this. It's just terrible advice. Men respect standards, they respect respect, and men want to commit to women with both of those. So very much focus. If you get that non-physical attraction up there and you just become that woman who engages with life positively, she respects herself, she has standards, she's sexually confident, you own all these parts of yourself, you're positive throughout your life, you cultivate your own life. If you do all of this, that's the stuff that gets you into relationships with the guys you want. Physical is still the very first thing he notices, no question. Like if a guy sees you across the club, it's physical. But the moment you open your mouth, the moment you start interacting, that starts decreasing, and the importance of who you are as a person starts to increase. And the physical, you wouldn't say it entirely disappears, but it becomes a very, very low importance in comparison to all the other things. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. We all want someone who's presentable. Yeah. Like if you don't take any pride in your appearance, that's not good.
But that comes back down to self-respect.
Self-respect, yeah.
But that's not doing it because you need to look a certain way to get attention, not even attention, but to be attractive. If you're confident and comfortable in your own skin, you're going to do things that you want to do or whatever, but you're going to shine naturally as attractive from that confidence.
Yeah.
So going and having to get your hair done every second week and doing your nails constantly and like always having to have a face full of makeup because you need to do that to be attractive is not true at all. Like there's people who obviously feel more comfortable with makeup on and they do that kind of stuff. If that's what makes them happy and confident, they can do that. But that's not something that you have to do to have a boyfriend. That's
yeah, bad.
That makes me so cranky.
Let's have a look at online, guys. Got any questions here? We had one from Martina's online. Give it a thumbs up. Yeah, give it a thumbs up, guys. If you're online, give it a thumbs up. There's quite a few of you on here, so make sure you say hi, guys. Like we've only got, like I say, not a heap of time left, so it's been awesome having you. But we're going to go through a few more, so don't go anywhere yet, and give the video a thumbs up and get involved before we head out tonight. Wana says, how can I date and get to know multiple guys at the same time without leading them on? Joanna, I think I'm pronouncing that right. There's a good video on this on why multiple dating works on the channel. So make sure you watch that after the live stream. That'll give you sort of, I suppose that gives you more information on the why, but it will give you some insight into the how as well. But the biggest thing is making sure that you're not giving them all the signals that you're constantly there. So you're not seeing them 3 or 4 nights a week. You're not misleading them you're not fully acting as though there is a girlfriend. You're prioritizing other things at other times of the week. You're not leading them on in that way. And if they ask, we talked about before how to say, no, I'm still casual right now. What you do is your business. What I do is mine, even though I'm really enjoying this. So if you feel a guy is getting the wrong impression, prioritizing other things in your life, prioritizing your fitness, your friends, and just making sure that wrong impression isn't coming across. Or if you really think he's getting the wrong impression, sitting him down and having a quick chat about it just to go, okay, I just want us to be on the same page here. I really like us dating, but I'm just keeping things casual at the moment. Are you happy with that? Anything to add there? No, pretty happy. Yeah. Okay. Sung is online. Sung. I think that Kasung. Okay, so she asks, how can I tell whether a guy is reserved or disinterested? I've been seeing this guy for 2 months now, but only 5 dates in that time, so once every fortnight or so, and he hasn't made a move on me. I tried to define the relationship, but he couldn't give me an answer. But then he asked me out again after that, so I'm confused about whether he's interested. My thoughts are it's probably, by the sounds of it, a little early to define the relationship in terms of asking him. I mean, you can do it, but I think in most cases a man's going to go, well, we're obviously casual at this point because he's only seeing you once a fortnight. So because it's quite early, I'd be looking to increase that before you start having that sort of exclusive conversation. Now, if you haven't seen it, there's a recent video where 𝐀𝐿𝐻 demonstrates impeccably how to have that conversation soon. So have a look at that video after the live stream. Have a look at the way I do 2 demos. The first is the way most women do it, where she comes at me, she goes,
frantic and saying all the wrong
words. Yeah, why don't you want a relationship with me? Oh, why don't you?
Do you want to commit
Yeah,
to a
don't you want to
relationship?
commit to a relationship? And then the second way where she goes, let's just be on the same page about this so I know where we're at. It's good that his actions are going in the right direction. They're just very slow at the moment. So keep going with it. Keep giving him positive feedback as he acts, making sure that he knows you're appreciating his positive moves so that he wants to keep doing them. And as things move forward, hopefully you guys start hanging out once or twice a week. And when it's at that more couple of times a week level, you can more reasonably have that conversation where we're going, okay, are we going to be on the same page here? Are we going to keep this casual or be exclusive?
And then I guess the more you see and the more you get to know him, you'll be able to pick up whether or not he is disinterested or just a shy guy.
Yeah, once every fortnight is hard to tell.
Yeah.
So you've got to ramp up that frequency. I talked before about the 3 sort of pillars of a guy leading to commitment. Emotional momentum. He keeps up emotional connection with you. He wants to connect every day, or really most days he's wanting to be on your mind. Prioritization. He starts to move things around in his life so he can spend time with you, get on the phone, get a date, whatever it is. And then integration. He starts to bring you into his life. He's bringing you in, meeting friends, meeting family. Those 3 happen usually in that order. He wants to connect. He starts to really prioritize you. He brings you into his life. Watch for those 3 as the progress goes on. Okay. There was a great question. I think is it on here? There was a great question on how to turn a guy down that you've been dating for a few dates. I'll see if I can find here. I don't know if I have it. It doesn't appear that I do. But I thought it was such a great question. The basic question that came in was, how do you tell a man that you've been seeing casually for just a little while, maybe a few dates, that you're not interested or that you're not feeling it anymore, without him reacting, without getting the whole douchebag response, without him cutting the shit? Have you had experience with this?
Yeah, I don't do it well.
What have you tried and done?
It's always so hard.
A lot of women struggle with this, by the way. This is that's why I wanted to get this one in, because it's a really common and hard question. So I wanted to hear your thoughts as to.
It's hard because you don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't think they're a bad person. You just are not interested in them in that way. And without being rude and like just ghosting them, because you don't want to do that as well, because it's just as hurtful.
That's what lots of women resort to, because they try and I think do the right thing, and they go, every guy just reacts like a douche, and they just end up ghosting. And then maybe other men they date who like them get ghosted on, and then they start to ghost women, and this cycle of disrespect kind of flows onto new partners.
I always find honesty, like gentle honesty, is the best, because you've got all your cards on the table. You're going like, look, this is just not sitting right for me at this point for whatever reason that you've got, because you're going to feel it. You just be like, I always lay it out, which is so difficult because it does hurt their feelings, but I think you get an appreciation of honesty as well. I don't know, without dancing around it, it's so hard.
Here's the way I usually answer it.
Yeah.
His reaction, you can't control. You can't take responsibility for his feelings. Now, what you can do is you can do things in a way that you're proud of and that are congruent with the best you. So the best you would probably not send a good bloke a really nasty, hey, I'm just not into this, you're acting way too needy. You wouldn't word it like that, because that's not in alignment with the best you. The best you might say something like, hey, I've really enjoyed this. I've really enjoyed hanging out. I think at this stage it's not for me, but just wanted to say thanks for all the time we spent together. I'm very, very grateful for it. Now, you'll still get a bad reaction to that a lot of the time.
Because no one likes to be turned down.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. You can't take responsibility for his reaction. His reaction is his issue. You have to be proud of the way you did things. And anything beyond that, you can't control. So if you are rejecting men, or if you are turning guys down, you have to do it in a way that you can look back and be proud of. And then his rejection or acceptance of that is not relevant. Like, you can take feedback if you do it the same way 5 times in a row, and you might even ask a friend, you go, was this an unreasonable text? Am I being too harsh here? And get an outside opinion. But you could also have 5 guys in a row who would just get pissed off with it. So you can get that outside opinion, but there's no way to ever control his reactions, and you can't take responsibility for them. The ghosting method is just going to propagate the ghosting idea in dating, and it's going to make things that keep happening. His reaction is not your problem, not your concern, not your problem. You have to do it in a way that you're proud of, and beyond that, nothing else matters. So if you can walk away with an honest assessment, wish him the best, and if he reacts, you don't react back, because the temptation then is to react back and hate him for it. No, you do what you're proud of and reject him, or say that you're not into it in a way that you love, and after that, there's nothing you can do. As long as you end the situation and eventually, look back on your life and be proud of the way that you acted, you're going to be happy, and you're going to, it sounds cliche and corny, but you're going to make the world a better place with those sorts of reactions and actions. So don't worry about the reaction. Worry about what you do, and if you're proud of it, and you'll reject men in the right way.
Good advice. Yeah. That's a good one.
Okay, guys, a couple more questions coming through. So who have we got? Kimberly. Kimberly says, I've been seeing a guy. Sorry, I almost hit that. I've been seeing a guy who is twice divorced and now afraid of relationships, although he is opening up more. How do I tell him I would like to text or talk daily and see one another twice a week? I'm 37, he's 48. With 3 children at home, I've been spending time with since last year. So I think they're his kids, I'm guessing from that. So he's 48 with 3 children at home. You've been spending time with the kids since last year. Okay, that's the whole question. Okay. Divorce men are an interesting one, because there's a big difference between divorced men and separated men. Separated men are terrible choices and terrible dates in virtually every scenario I've ever seen. But divorced men can have a lot of good qualities. They're obviously not afraid of commitment. They're obviously not afraid of giving things a go. They've signed their papers, they've gotten away, and they'll have learned a lot about relationships and working on relationships. And the statistics for divorced men getting back remarried again are really high. The percentages, most divorced men, I think 80% are remarried within 4 years, something like that. So I'll have to fact check that, but it's around that number. So they're good in some ways, but they do have extra things and baggage. And 2 of those, one can be beliefs. Certainly if they've been divorced a couple of times, those beliefs can start to build up. And the second one is kids. So we'll touch on each of those briefly. With beliefs, that's something that he has to work through in time. And that's something that you can't force someone to change their beliefs. You can help make them aware of it if they're open to it. But for the most part, his beliefs have to be changed by him wanting to change them. And there has to be a relevant change in his reality to believe that. So if he has been divorced twice and he starts to believe relationships just don't work, that's very difficult. Because as long as he has that belief, his relationships are going to follow that sort of path. But it's understandable that he's reserved about it. He, though, has to work on realizing that. And that's something he'll do with his own time, Kimberly. Now, how long has it been since he's divorced? Because these things do take some time. So if he was divorced in the last 6 months, I wouldn't expect him to be emotionally ready to go again. So just let us know the timing. And kids can vary completely. I'm interested that you say you've been spending time around his kids. My advice is usually to be, obviously, until you're really solid with the guy. Because one thing you said is, I want to talk every day. I want to see him twice a week. It sounds like you guys aren't spending a lot of time together, so you're still quite separate. So if he has kids and you're emotionally connecting with them, you just want to be careful of that, because what you don't want to do is form a real bond with these kids and then leave their life. Because there's nothing worse than kids forming intimate bonds with new partners and then having that partner disappear. So be really aware of that. In terms of, what was the actual question? Now I've gone on a bit of a tangent. How do I tell him I would like to talk or text daily and see one another twice a week. I think we probably need a little bit more detail, Kimberly, as to what exactly your present relationship is. But it sounds like he has to want to prioritize you in that way moving forward. So without knowing exactly, I mean, are you seeing him once a week at the moment? Like if you're seeing him once, let's say you're seeing him once a week, you want to see him twice a week and talk, text every day. That's where you've got to have a sit down with him and sort of go, okay, what are your expectations? What are my expectations from this? Are we going to meet? Are we going to meet in the middle so you know where we're each coming from? But I also don't know if you're in a full relationship. I mean, you say you've only been seeing him, so it's kind of not almost in your place to sit down and have a conversation about, let's communicate more.
And how long it's been going on.
Yeah.
You guys have been seeing each other.
Yeah, sorry, Kimberly, I probably don't have enough details to actually answer that effectively.
Is that her down the bottom?
Kimberly, yes, his kids. Yeah, Lexi says third piece of baggage can be an ex. Yeah, 100% agree. That's his problem though. If a divorced man has a crazy ex or a jealous ex or even just a maybe intrusive ex or maybe an ex who's needy. Yeah. Some guys have the ex who's always back there. His issue to solve, not yours. Not something you touch. You can talk to him about it and you can say, look, as long as your ex is in your life in this way, I can't move forward, but it's up to you if you want to put a boundary there. But X is his issue. But yes, very common one. So good, really good comment. Okay, let's we'll see what Kimberly says and just move on for a little bit. What did Jen asked a question about social media, and Jen says, how important do you think social media is for attracting and maintaining partners? I haven't posted barely any pictures now in 2 months because I've been heartbroken, but I'm thinking about starting again. Attracting and maintaining are two different things, so let's touch on them separately. I think social media is not good for attracting partners. It's really promoting this whole modern day thing of let's look at photos, let's message people that we don't know, who we have no idea if we're compatible with, and it can really become a crutch where just like Tinder, you can kind of go on there and you can sort of meet people, but not really, and you're not getting that social experience. You're not going out, you're not connecting, and these people are essentially strangers because everyone puts the best face on social media. You don't know if that's them. There's not much realness in this. It's not real connections. It has its benefits in that you meet a lot more people.
Yeah.
Tinder, Facebook, they're all good things in that they do expand your range, but it's almost given us this false sense of abundance that isn't real. So I think in terms of attracting partners as a add-on, it can be good. Yeah. As an extra thing. Okay, I meet lots of guys in real life, but hey, I also have the option to meet them on Tinder, Facebook, maybe on Instagram. I think it doesn't hurt if you're meeting some people that way. Like it's another option you can use, and it's a great way to if you're finding you're super busy, for example, and you're not meeting enough new men on the regular. Yeah, it's a nice way to add more connection into your life. Yeah. But there's no realness to it until you connect with them in real life. And you're kind of taking pot shots around these millions of people and hoping you hit one who's compatible when what you really want to be doing is connecting with real people. You want to be connecting with real people in real life, so going out to meet them in real life, or if you can't do that, getting off social media quickly and going on little mini dates with them to connect with them in real life.
Is this like you're not posting photos on your, say, like your private Facebook account and things like that? Because I think you should be feeling free enough to do whatever you want to do on there. Like, I don't think you should be limiting yourself because you're heartbroken, or you want people to think that you're heartbroken because you're kind of like withdrawn or whatever. Like, have fun.
Don't keep living your life the way you're proud of, which can involve, it's not necessarily posting photos with guys that's validation seeking, but it's just posting photos of what you're doing and getting around and enjoying your life. So absolutely, if that's because your social media profile represents you. So if you feel like you want to post things on there and you're doing awesome stuff that you want to share, put it on there.
There's no reason to not do it out of any specific reason. I think that's a trap that people will fall into a lot, is posting only their best stuff on Facebook, pretending they're having a great time as well. So don't do that. Don't go out and be like, oh, look, I'm doing this and I'm having so much fun and look how great I am and how amazing my life is. Like, you just want to be genuine and like put the things on there that you are doing or you are enjoying or whatever.
Yeah.
But not.
There's a fine line, isn't there?
Yeah, don't. I think that's the thing that a lot of people do is put their best foot forward on Facebook to make their life seem so much greater than what it is out of an insecurity. It's a bad trap.
There's a lot of validation seeking in social media, and
Yeah.
that's absolutely true. So yeah, if Mark Manson, again, going back to Mark Manson, he always says, check your intent. When you're doing something, what's your real intention? If you're posting on social media because you genuinely want to share something awesome that you did. I went to see Armin van Buuren recently, and it was one of the best nights of my life. And I was just so excited to share it that I just wanted to put it out there. So I just wanted to share this amazing experience. I'm not doing it to get likes. I still would have been happy if no one had posted anything on it, because I'm like, this was something really cool that I did and I loved. I want to share it with the world. Check your intent. Whereas if I've just had a breakup and I'm posting photos with another girl, well, check your intent.
Yeah.
Why are you really doing that, Mark? So it's all about your intent. You could post the same thing with a different intent and it would be right versus wrong. It's all about your intent.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Intent is important.
Okay, let's have a look at what we've got here.
I'm real on my profile. Good.
Yes.
Yes, that's what you want.
Love it. Kim says, I've been going on dates with this guy for about 5 months. 5 months, right. Fair while. One problem is that he does not make any moves. He has not hold my hand or kiss me. I'm not sure if he is shy or just not into me.
It seems weird. 5 months is a long time.
A very long time. How often are you going on dates?
Yeah. Wow. 5 months. I couldn't imagine that.
That just...
But obviously he's still interested because he's still continuing to do it, right?
Is he asking you out?
Yeah, or are you asking,
him
him
out?
out? That's going to be him.
I'm pretty shy as well, and I worried to make the first move.
Yeah, I feel you. Shy girl. Life. I am shy, guys.
You
Say
say-
it, and no one believes me. I am. I'm very shy.
Is it Jamia says she's shy, and it's the classic example of someone. It's almost like I almost feel like your self-image hasn't caught up with like what you do and who you are yet. It's like you're still in the self-image of like 18-year-old Jamia who was shy, and it's like, get some updates, girl. Like, update that shit. You're still on iPhone 2.
Stop. He asks you on dates.
He asked you to hang out. So that's great. Gee, it's really, it almost just sounds like he's so ingrained himself in overthinking, almost friend zone type thing that he's just gone. There reaches almost a point with shy guys where they built it up so much in their heads that it becomes an enormous thing. And now it's been 5 months. It's an even bigger thing than it was 3 months ago. It's just been such a big thing now. You almost need like something major to break him out of it.
Yeah.
Any suggestions on how she could break him out of it? Tell him to kiss you.
Yeah.
Like, go all out.
Yep. Like, there's a great video that Mark and I have done where I can't remember what it's
How to
actually
get a
called.
guy to kiss you.
How to get a guy to kiss you. Have a look at that. See if you can pick up any tips from that. I think it's pretty good advice. Try it out.
You can take his hand. I don't think that would be an issue. Like, take his hand.
That would be a good way to gauge it as well. If you try and hold his hand and he's happy to hold your hand, maybe he is just shy, and then you will be more confident to take more steps. If he then pulls away, that's probably a bit of a more of an indication as to how he's actually feeling, as to if he thinks it is just friends or not.
Yeah. When you're sitting next to him, you can close the distance like we demonstrated in that video. So you can close the distance, snuggle up to him. I mean, if you're going on dates that long, there should be no problem doing something like an intimate movie night or an intimate dinner or something where you can relax afterwards on his couch or your couch, in which case there's no reason you can't close the physical distance, snuggle into him a bit. If that goes well, if he maybe like reciprocates that, you can look him in the eyes, do as we demonstrated in the video, do the 3 triangle gaze. And if all else fails, telling him to kiss you sounds scary, so you can do these other things first. But break out of that shit. Like, if you like him and you really think he likes you, like, let's get stuff happening. Break out of that.
Life's too short.
Life's too short
to leave things wondering. Just do it.
Just do it. A couple more questions before we clock out, guys. You guys have been amazing, and I love you all so much. So we'll do a couple more questions before we go. We'll just see if there's one more from the that was an interesting one. We should hear for that.
Oh, really?
Angelique, yeah.
Oh.
It was about the too independent. We talked about how when you go, yeah, look at this. She was talking about she's an attorney, a fashion blogger, goes to events, launches lunch festivals, has her own radio show, doing an MBA.
Dang!
Like, so much so that it almost went too far where it's like, I don't need no man at all.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I have no value in this woman's life. I can't do anything. Yeah, there's no footing. There's no footing for the guy. Like,
yeah. Trying to climb that mountain is amazing activity.
Okay, and then did that one. What's up, New York? Oh, actually, this was okay. We sort of touched on. Quick question from Natalie. We've touched on. It's a two-part question. We've kind of touched on the first part before. So we said, Natalie asks, if you're not in an exclusive relationship with a guy you're dating, and he asks if you are seeing others, how do you answer this? Now we sort of addressed this before, but in terms of if he directly asks, do you have any sort of thoughts on how you would handle that if it was very early on, so you're not in an exclusive relationship, and the guy said, rather than you bringing up the conversation when it suited you, he straight up came out and said, are you seeing other people?
Mm. I would be honest. I'd be like, oh, well, I'm not actively seeing other people or whatever the situation was, but whatever happens with it.
And if you were actively seeing other people?
If I was actively seeing other people, I'd probably tell him. And I'm just waiting to see where this goes. Because if it's only new with this guy as well, it's probably only new with other guys. It's like, I'm just in the dating scene. I'm like, doing what I'm doing. Yeah,
you basically say, look, at the moment, I'm really enjoying getting out there. I'm enjoying meeting people. I've connected with a couple of people recently. I'm so loyal. When I'm casual, I'm casual. When I'm loyal. Like, if I'm enjoying where we're at, and I'm enjoying what we're working towards, but I'm also wanting to. I'm casual until I say otherwise. I'm assuming you're seeing other girls. That's just how I kind of phrase it. So, like, you might say, yeah, I'm actively seeing someone, or yeah, I'm not actively seeing someone. But you sort of say, look, my thing is, I'm basically assuming you're seeing other people. So you can be honest and you can say, yeah, I'm seeing others as well if you are. Or you can literally take the approach, and some people prefer to do this, is to go, look, when I'm sort of seeing someone casually, I just figure what you do is your business, what I do is my business. If we want to talk about being exclusive, because I am enjoying this, we can do it in the future. So that's how I'd address that. And in terms of the second part of the question was, if they do become your boyfriend and asked if you saw others during the time you were dating that, how do you answer it if you did? And then Natalie goes on to say, I feel they should not ask this, as you were not a couple at the time. I pretty much agree, Natalie. It's not, you were not a couple at the time, so it's not really relevant, really. You weren't a couple, so it's not relevant. I would say, look, we weren't a couple. Do you really want to know? Like, it's not, we weren't a thing at the time. Like, I've obviously seen plenty of other guys before I saw you. Do you really want the intimate details of other men I saw before we became exclusive? He'll either say yes or no. And if he says yes, look, you can say that and you can tell him. And if he reacts badly, that's his problem, not yours. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You weren't exclusive. Don't let him talk you into feeling like you should feel bad because of that. You should not. No. It was every part of your business. You gave him the warning. He might not want to hear it. And then he said he wanted to hear it anyway. So you went and told him. Nothing wrong with your actions at all. If he gets weird or insecure over that, his problem. You can say, look, we weren't exclusive. If you can't accept that, let me know. But I did nothing wrong in this situation. And when you're solid with yourself, he'll either come into your frame or he won't, but he's not going to play weird, jealous behavior with you.
Don't let it.
Don't let it.
That's going to set up a precedent for the rest of your relationship as well.
Yes.
Like, oh, if I'm going to whinge or whatever, and then she's going to feel bad, and then I'm going to be okay because she feels bad about something that I feel bad about, which is not your problem whatsoever. So, nah.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, let's go back to the questions on here. Sydney's online. Great to have you, Sydney. I've seen a couple of your comments. Sydney says, I got a Valentine's present from my long-distance boyfriend. That's cute, but I didn't get him a gift. I was too shy to. He knows I appreciate him a lot. Is it bad that I didn't get him a gift? Look, it's probably not ideal, but you can if you say it to him and you're honest with him, then you should be able to get away with it. Yeah. So if you say, give him a call and say, I feel so bad. If I'm being honest, I was too shy because I didn't know if you were going to get me one.
Yeah.
And you can, if you're just honest with him, you're going to have to be a little bit vulnerable because he might feel a little unloved because of this or a little one-sided. Yeah. So I would say I'm so shy, and look, you could always do something like, I'm going to find a different cheeky gift, and you could do a little lingerie photo or something like that. And there's all sorts of creative ways you can handle this. So as long as you bring it up with him and kind of own it, and that he knows your feelings are real and you're vulnerable with that, he will be fine.
Yeah. And most of the time, guys aren't like, well, why didn't you get me a gift anyway? Because it's like the thought that counts, or the action behind the gift or whatever. So if you tell him, he'll probably be like, oh, you're so cute.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Let's have a look. Dara, I don't think we've answered Dara's question. So Dara says, hi, Mark. Great to have you on the channel, Dara. Thanks for your channel. How do I handle a really shy guy, especially one that was hurt badly in his previous committed relationship, which was several years ago? As soon as things start getting more casual?
More than casual.
Oh, more than casual. As soon as things start getting more than casual, he goes into denial mode and says that he'd rather be living his life, but still shows interest and still gives a lot of non-verbal signs that he likes me. Okay. Especially one that was hurt. Is he definitely really shy? Because he's giving a lot of non-verbal signs, but he's pulling back when things go more than casual. I don't know if this is, without knowing, I don't know if this is shyness because, I mean, it sounds like you guys are going on dates. You guys are maybe sleeping together. It's sounding like you're kind of seeing each other, but then when you go more into a commitment sort of phase, he's pulling back because he's got previous beliefs that are holding him back. He'd rather be living his life. His behavior sort of rings to me of pretty much what you've said, which is a fear of intimacy from his previous relationship. So he's letting his previous pain affect his current circumstances with you. You can't take responsibility for changing his beliefs. He has to want to change them. Like, he has to be able to acknowledge them. And you might be able to sit him down because if he is the type that'll work on himself, he's the type where you might be able to sit him down, because it sounds like you guys have been dating enough that you can sit down and have an honest conversation where you can go, look, do you think this from your previous relationship might be affecting the way that we are kind of going on and off? And if he's open enough to say yes to that, if he says no, then there's probably not a lot of hope for him, really, because he's in denial about it. If he says yes, then that's when you can say, okay, this is something that you need to look at, or maybe not even you need to look at, but this is something that's hurting me, and it's from a previous relationship. So I think it's something that if you're serious about me, you'll look at working on moving forward, because right now this is how I'm feeling. And I'm not saying that you're responsible for it, but this is how I feel in the relationship. So you're taking responsibility for your own feelings, but you're going, with this pattern, I can't keep seeing you casually on and off. Like, it's not going to work for me because it's hurting me. And again, this isn't something I'm holding you responsible for. I'm just saying that this isn't currently working for me. Like, I'd love to be with you, and I'm not looking for like immediate. How long did you say it was? You didn't say how long you've been together. You might say, I'm not looking for an immediate exclusivity or anything, but if I'm just looking for some sort of consistency. And if you can't provide that, like, that's awesome. It's not awesome, but that's okay. That is what it is, because I understand you've been really hurt in the past. Like you've said, that could be the reason, but it's not something that I can continue to be with, because it's not good for my own emotional health.
Put your own life on hold
for a guy who's on and off. Yeah.
You owe more to yourself than to wait around for something that's at this point not happening. So yeah, I think you need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
For yourself.
If he's willing to own it and go, you know what, if I'm being really honest, I think that my ex is probably affecting this pattern a lot. This is something I'm really going to have to work on. maybe I'll read a book on it, or maybe I'll have a chat to a psych, or maybe I'll just ask you each week if I'm improving. Maybe it's as simple as that. Then that's something that could definitely work moving forward. But if he's in denial about it, or even if he accepts it but without taking any real action to fix it, he's just going to keep doing this pattern. And it might take you exiting his life completely for 30 days, maybe for 6 months, before he realizes that, oh shit, this is actually a pattern where I'm now pushing women away because of my fears. So unfortunately, it might take your absence. It might take your absence and the absence of the next 3 girls he meets leaving him before he's forced to be self-reflective on it. You just don't know when someone will experience enough pain or loss to make them want to re-examine their beliefs. And hopefully you just sitting down and having the conversation will allow him to do that. But if not, you've got to look after yourself.
Yeah.
All right, we've got, we'll do probably 10 more minutes, guys. So last couple of questions. What have we got? Any other, pop them in, guys, pop them in. So I want to have anyone who hasn't chatted yet, I think we'll do 2 more. So anything you haven't said yet, if you've been shy, we've been on almost 3 hours now. So isn't she great? It's just having her, it's awesome having someone to bounce off. So thank you for spending your Valentine's Day with us. We've got just a couple more questions, so get them in very quickly. Jasmia says, why do you think men say they want a good woman and when they find one, they run away? Jasmia.
That's 1 letter off my name.
That's so close to you. That's 2 letters off your name.
No.
Yes.
2 letters.
Neither is a very...
As an
switch. We forgot we had blinds.
Blind.
We forgot letters and words.
Sorry, go on.
Okay. Why do you think men say they want a good woman and when they find one, they run away? The reason I ask this is because I have this issue with men. I'm a good woman and men see that and don't fully commit. I just don't get it. Makes me feel like it's me with the problem sometimes. Okay. I'm a good woman. So what you've got to go, okay, what are you, this is such a general statement, Jasmia. Like I don't meet many people who say I'm a bad person. One of the biggest things in US intelligence, one of the first things they teach you in the CIA is that every person, even every terrorist thinks they're doing the right thing by their own cause. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not by any stretch saying you're a bad person. You're definitely not doing that. You are a lovely, lovely person, and I love you very much, Jasmia. But how are we defining good here? Like, what is being a... Yeah, this is very broad, and it's kind of like we need to get more specific with, okay, let's look at your particular situation and go, where are you finding like the particular hurdle? So are you going to, it sounds by the sounds of it, you're getting to a point.
They're like dating for a little bit and then they won't commit to a relationship.
Yeah. So I'd be thinking more like, okay, you're an awesome person, but are you allowing men to use you for all the benefits of a relationship? Because one thing, I think it's almost like inherent to women who are very empathic, which you may well be, because a lot of women have such an ability to empathize, and certain women in particular are very, very empathic with all their surroundings and the people around them. So they want the best for everyone around them. So when they meet a guy that they really like, they just go out of their way to make him feel great, to be his companion and to support him and to make his life incredible. But the problem is what ends up happening to a lot of these women who mean so well is that they give the guy all the kind of essentially boyfriend benefits of support and love and companionship and sex on tap and security and loyalty without getting what they want in return. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, but one example might be the woman who gets 2 dates in with a guy she really likes, and she says to him, "Oh, so just so you know, like I know we're casual right now, and that's fine, but just so you know, when I'm dating, I don't see anyone else. Like I only ever see one person at a time." And in her heart, she's doing something really good for the guy because she's like giving him security, and she's thinking that she's making him feel really good, and she is. But the problem is she's kind of given away one of the best benefits of being in a relationship to him without requesting anything in return. Like the guy is going to now use her for that security, because one thing men love about relationships is the fact that you're not going out to sleep with anyone else. You spend a Friday night away with your friends. I don't have to worry about you hooking up. that's super valuable. That's one of the main reasons that, like, one of several, but one of the very important reasons that I've committed in my own relationships was I was no longer comfortable with the idea of them dating other people. When you give that away for free, you can get used for it. And this applies to your companionship, this applies to your support, this can apply to your sex, and this can apply to you just bringing more excitement to his life. So one thing that maybe could be going on is that men are using you for those benefits, and in the process, they're not valuing them because you're just stacking it on them because you are, as you say, like a good person. But sometimes, and I've done this in my past as well, is you be too nice and you give and give and give, and you do it without expecting reciprocation, which unfortunately, even though it comes from a good place, people don't respect it. And men will not commit if they don't have an underlying respect, or if they don't feel those standards and expectations of them are there. Add-ons?
No, nailed it.
Pretty okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jasmine, I hope that answers your question without me calling you a terrorist.
Maybe a little bit at the start, but then like worked it out.
Okay, many thanks for your answer. So guys, we'll do one more. Just quickly, Taisia, this is the one from New Year's where they hadn't talked. So they had been very good friends for a few years before that. He initiated more than friends for several months, so I'm hoping he will come back. Yeah, again, it's the same sort of story, Taisia. We're still looking at his actions, and we're still looking at what he's doing now. If he's gone from friends and then he's wanted that more experience, like, he may come back. At least you guys have had a more solid connection, but I'd be focusing on yourself and putting your energy more into you and growing you, because that's going to be your best chance of him coming back. Like I say, you can throw him a Hail Mary text, but if he doesn't respond to that, then it's definitely time to go and do your thing.
Yeah.
And he might come back in 3 or 6 months, or he might not, but it's not something you can focus on. It's just focus on growing you.
Yeah. And you've done your best regardless, so you've always got that.
Jasmine from before says, yes, I am a caregiver and I love really hard. Yeah, so Jasmine, that's really common. And I think it's one of the most beautiful things about the feminine spirit is the way it wants to give and care for those around it and care for the world. You've just got to also make sure you value that, because it's one of the most beautiful gifts you have to offer. And don't give it out freely to men who don't value it.
Yeah.
Let's grab one more question. Okay, actually two more because I like these two. So the last two are from Amy and from Kayla. We'll answer these two, guys, and then we are going to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. So the first one is from Amy, and Amy says, I'm not sure if this is answered, so I guess I'll put it here. How many dates should you go on with a guy before deciding whether to move on or keep dating? I think, yeah, actually, Amy, I think I was waiting for you to come online. I may have missed this one. So, yeah, how many dates? Because Amy says, I tend to fall in love really slowly. How many dates should you go on before deciding to move on or keep dating? I fall in love really slowly, especially with complete strangers, which is pretty healthy.
Yeah,
which is pretty darn healthy. And it's the opposite to a lot of women, Amy. So this is kind of a good way to be. It means that you're standing back and assessing people properly for your standards. I've been told after 2 dates and no chemistry, then move on. But I think for me, 2 is far from enough to really get to know someone and to fall in love. I'm someone I meet online that I've never known before. Yeah. What do I think? Do you have thoughts first?
I think you're the only one who really knows you. So as long as you're honest with them and like say, or not say necessarily, but as long as you're honest saying that, yeah, you'd like to give it a little like run or whatever, and he's not under the preconception that, oh yes, like because we're going on more dates, she's going to fall in love with me and this is going to be a relationship or whatever. As long as you've given that notion that, yeah, you're just seeing how things go, you can take as much time as you kind of need to understand for yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I think you've got to figure out what's right for you. One thing you said, Amy, was you phrased for me to know if there's how did you say it? And I think 2 is far from enough time for me to really get to know someone and to fall in love with someone. I completely agree. But you also said at the start of that sentence, after 2 dates with no chemistry, then move on. A little chemistry or a spark is different from really getting to know someone and falling in love. in a lot of cases, I sort of say to women, look, especially if you're doing this thing where you're dating a lot of guys, you're getting in there, you're meeting lots of people, you know, you're meeting these, if there was 4 categories of guys, you're meeting sort of the top 3 categories of what you're most attracted to. If you're getting in there and meeting all these people, you're going to be going on a lot of dates and meeting a lot of people. So I think from a logistical time sense, my general advice, and this might not be specific to you, but my general advice would actually be, if you're not feeling any spark at all for someone within 2 dates, I'd be surprised if that spark would come after that, if there's nothing at all. That's completely different to getting to know him or falling in love. You will not be in love after 2 dates, and anyone that says that is going in way too hard and fast. It takes months and months. Everyone has a different definition of love. You know, I like to think that you're not really in love until you've seen the worst of someone, because that's when you're wholly accepting them. But everyone has a different definition. But I completely agree. You're not going to be in love, and you're definitely not going to know someone after 2 dates. I do think that you will use a lot of time if you keep looking for sparks. If there's nothing there with guys after especially 3 dates, after those first 2 to 3 dates, you can certainly do it. And if that's what works for you, go and do it. My sort of thoughts would be, if you're not feeling any spark at all with a guy, you'd be better off spending that time on a new guy after 2 dates than going back for a 3rd, 4th, 5th, trying to find a spark at all with someone.
But the more you get out there and the more people you meet, you're going to be able to pick up the things that interest you and like those traits or qualities or whatever that are attractive to you. So you'll be able to pick them up easier the more people or the more volume of guys that you meet.
The better your social skills, you'll meet more people, you'll get cooler experiences. Even if your dates are bad, you'll have funny stories. Like you'll be, I think, you're saying even a more well-rounded person by rather than focusing on 6 or 8 dates with a no spark guy going on 4 sets of 2 dates with new guys.
Yeah,
I very much agree with that. So I think, Amy, you know, you've got to find what works for you, but I think from a time perspective, I think you'd probably save time if there's no spark at all. Again, not love, not getting to know, but if there's no spark, going elsewhere after the first couple of dates, 3 at a push. Lily asks, what's a Hail Mary text? Lily asks, what's a Hail Mary text? Hail Mary text is like the old US football where you just sort of throw one up and see if it hits.
Lob it. And just hope for the best.
You lob it to the outfield and just hope for the best. It's that one where you're not sure. It's been a couple of months later. It's maybe been a couple of weeks, couple of months, but you throw it out there. You're vulnerable with it. It's a make sure that you're not just both being stupid text is what it is. It's like okay, we've stopped talking. Is it because I'm feeling like he should be talking to me and he's just being stubborn, feeling like I should be talking to him, and we're both just being stubborn idiots? You throw a Hail Mary to go, okay, I like you and want to hang out. And that way, you know, if it falls on the ground, well, you're done. You can walk off the field happy. That's a Hail Mary. Last question is from Kayla. And Kayla says, does the no contact walking away method, if we're not exclusive but seeing each other for 3 months, I let him know I was interested, but I made it clear I wasn't going to chase him. If we're not exclusive but seeing each other, does the no contact walking away method, do you mean, Kayla, in terms of, you haven't said why you're walking away. I've let him know I was interested, but I made it clear I wasn't going to chase him. It's actually a bit of a, does the no contact walking away method, if we were not exclusive but seeing each other for 3 months, I've let him know I was interested, but made it clear.
So he hasn't been responsive to you letting him know that
you like
him?
Is that what's happening there, Kayla?
I don't know. Tell us, Kayla.
He's not putting in much effort anymore, Kayla says. Okay, so if he's not putting in the effort, Kayla, then you stop putting in the effort. Like, if you've been vulnerable, you said that you let him know that you liked him, which is awesome. You put yourself out there. If he's not reciprocating that, and if he's sort of walking on that, then you go, okay, he's not willing to prioritize me. I've been vulnerable. My signals are clear. I've made myself clear. I've put myself out there. I've said that I'm a fuck yes. Mark Manson, fuck yes or no, read it. I've said that I'm a fuck yes, and he said meh. Then you've got to go away and prioritize other things. I think your question was, will the no contact work? As in, will the no contact work to get him back? don't think of this as a way to get him back, Kayla. Think of this as a way to respect yourself and a way to address the fact that he's going to blow it, or he has blown it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, he's fucked it up. He had a chance and he's stuffed it up now.
Yeah. And you don't keep giving him chances. It's just going to breed bad habits later.
Yeah. I mean, you might get a text from him in 2 weeks where he's like, I'm really sorry. I think you were right. Come out on a date with me. It's like, okay, your actions have rectified things, and he knows where your level of self-respect now sits, and he won't drop below it. Could happen. But you can't walk away going, how do I get this guy back? When what you should actually be thinking is, man, this guy's really blowing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now I'm going to prioritize other things because he's blown his chances.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd be thinking with that one, Kayla. The biggest, just to touch on this last point, the biggest power you have, this is something I talk about with breakups. It's like, I think of breakups like if someone breaks up with you, it's like, this is a really blokey way to think of it, but it's like when someone says, no, I'm not interested, I want to break up, or I don't want to do this. It's like, imagine being in a control room. Like, I imagine those nuclear control rooms where there's like lots of buttons and switches and stuff. And it's like, while you're in the relationship, you have all these options.
Mm-hmm.
You have like all these things you can do. You have these things you can say, you can talk to him. There's different stuff you can try. When someone says they're breaking up, it's like they've pulled the plug on the whole switch room. Mm. Like, you can try flicking buttons around, or you can try turning dials, but nothing works anymore. And it's just desperate to try. But there's that one button that the guy has no control over. It's that big red button in the corner of the room that no one ever wants to press. But it's the one that he cannot affect. And that's the one sort of bit of power you have left when a guy does this, is that you have the power to eject and walk out the back door of the console. Mm. That's it. If someone breaks up, or if someone says no more, that's the only power you have left to take back. It's simply to go, okay, every other switch is switched off. I never wanted to press this. I didn't want to press it during the relationship. I don't want to press it now. But it's literally the one thing I have left.
Yeah.
And you press that button and you walk out the back of the room. You might never talk to that guy again. And you might never hear from him again. But you take your power back because you turn away and you walk out. And this is not a manipulative get back at him way. This is simply I'm taking my self-respect back way. I'm not going to sit in this room switching buttons and turning dials that don't work and hoping that he'll find his way back. I'm just going to hit the eject button. I didn't want to press it, but I'm doing it because it's for me. So think about that in terms of, if you have had a guy pull away, or if you have had a guy break up, that's the way to take your power back. And you may find that he comes back, or you may find he doesn't. But what's much more important is that you are taking your own self-respect when you do that.
Absolutely.
I think that is the live stream for today, 𝐀𝐿𝐻. Guys, thank you so much for coming online. Thank you, all of you. Lily, Kayla, there was so many of you. I won't be able to name you all. Amy came online. Molly, Jasmine, JN, Lily. I said Lily twice. Well, Lily, you posted so much, so you deserve it twice. Dara, Sydney, Kim, Lexi was online for quite a while. Joanna, Kimberly. Guys, so many of you watched through the whole thing. We had quite a few of you online. Guys, happy Valentine's Day.
Yes. Happy Love
Thank you
Day.
So much for spending it with us. Happy Love Day. Belinda was saying it last night too.
Okay.
Everyone's calling it that.
Love Day.
Thaisa, Song. Oh, who else do we have? So many of you. Desi was online. We said Amy, Nusi, your friend was online, Diana, Quincy, all of you, Rokal, Pixie, Nuskins. Thanks to all of you. Thank you to all of you for spending your Valentine's Day evening with us. I know it's after midnight in New York now, so you guys probably want to get some sleep. It's after 9 in LA, so you guys are probably exhausted as well from taking in all this info. Just from the bottom of my heart and our hearts, thank you for supporting the channel and what we do. I couldn't do it without each and every one of you, and you guys just, the way this has taken off the way it has, and even, we've had so many of you, even in the last few weeks, come on board. It's just so inspiring, and it really does drive me to make sure that the information I give you and everything that I can do for you only gets better from here on out. The videos we're planning are only bigger, they're only more exciting. They really are going to go just from strength to strength. So, you know, I value every single share, I value every single like, every single comment. I take a lot of time replying to them. I really hope I can continue to do that. I spend so much time doing it because I am just so appreciative that you guys would take the time to watch the video and enjoy the channel, and then share the fact that you got something out of it. And it just drives me to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. So yeah, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting the channel. We're going to take this really, really big, and we're going to reach women all around the world. I was picturing this, and I went to an Anthony Robbins seminar last year where there was 5,000 people in the room. And to think now that we have the size of that room, think that we now have more subscribers on here than would fill that room is incredible. And it just shows that the message is only getting out there. You guys are really resonating with this no lying, no games, no manipulation, no playing hard to get, genuine self-development and high value building yourself in dating is the message that I just am so passionate about and want to share, because it works. There's other coaches around, they'll give you tactics and stuff, and it'll work for the short term, but this is the only stuff that generates permanent fulfillment in your dating, not just in your dating, in your life. So I'm such a believer in this, and I really value each and every one of you for helping me get it out there. And I can't wait to see you guys, hopefully on another live stream. We'll have to get Jamia back. I think she'd like to take part in it. We'll have to see if we can organize maybe a once every couple of months, or even once every month or something, just so I can get on here and chat to you guys. Hopefully the sound, the images were all right today. First time we've done it, so I really hope that it was audible. And don't forget as well, when we're on the topic of self-development, audibletrial.com/MHY, audibletrial.com/MHY. If you're not on Audible, get on Audible. It's the best $15 you'll ever spend in a month. On your way to work, on your way to home, at the doctor's, whatever it is, you can be listening to a great book, a great author, growing yourself. My book will be out at some point too in the next, I'd say next 6 months. I'm really compressing it to get the best bits of content I can right throughout that book. So I'll obviously let you guys know when that's in development. But yeah, thank you so much for having us. Thank you, Jamia.
No worries, thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you for inviting us into your lounge room this happy Valentine's Day. I can't wait to do it again with you guys. We will have another video coming out tomorrow night. This should be a bit of an entertaining one with this one this week, I believe. And then we'll have some more Sunday. We've got a good one. And then Tuesday, Ask Mark next week again. So guys, thanks for coming online. We'll just check the last little... Get out of here, Molly. What are you doing?
Who is Molly?
I don't know what Molly's doing.
Molly.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming online, and we will catch you again soon. Love you all.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.